Law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I had a hard day and it's a long way back to my home. Turn the radio on and hear it. My friends busy pretend that their voice counts, but nothing amounts to anything until I hear it from you.
Frank, Hayes, Lauren, and RJ, The Frangie Show starts now on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, welcome in. Glad you're along for the ride on a Wednesday installment. Cool but gorgeous day here on the First Coast. Our Wednesday is always brought to you by AC Design. So when the weather's not gorgeous, they're the best in the business. They're also hiring the best HVAC. Well, it's AC Design. That is the name to know. Frangie and Carline, Brooks Saunders with you. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Went for a brisk walk today. Long walk today. Listen to a little music.
How far'd you go?
About 4.5 long for me.
That's
a good little walk.
Good ways, yeah.
Is that why you're not eating your coconut shrimp?
Actually, I ate a late lunch, had a business lunch. I'm all about business, Carline. And then I
stand on it.
I stand on business. But I'm not smart enough to know what that means. But everyone's standing on business these days. So, but I had one coconut shrimp. Did you have a coconut shrimp?
I had 2.
Did you have any?
I had 3, so I've had my allotment.
I may have another one then. So just there's.
I told you have 2 more to eat.
I may have another. So there's that. Trevor met the media today. That's the news of the day. Give me an overview of what Trevor Lawrence had to say today. I think most people are on Twitter and follow it, and they listen to our radio station, but in the event that you didn't, an overview of kind of what Trevor said.
I think you have to be encouraged by how well he's moving and the fact that, he wasn't wearing anything, on the ankle other than what looked like a sock, but certainly no boot or, he was on crutches after the game, didn't have any of that. So, and he talked like somebody who felt like he had dodged a bullet, that it could have been a lot worse than what it was, which is what Doug told us yesterday.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's encouraging. I went from feeling like there was probably a 20% chance he's going to play to now I'd put it at like 45%.
Yeah.
I still don't think he'll be active, but after seeing him today and knowing he still has 72 hours, now I'm not putting it past him. And I do have to wonder if there has to be in Trevor's mind a little bit of a challenge. Not that it's the same stakes, it's not, but he saw what Mahomes did last year, and that is the guy that he's chasing. And so it does make you wonder, does that go through his mind in terms of not only did Mahomes do it, but he did it against the Jaguars in terms of returning from the injury in that game. And then obviously 8 days later played magnificent in the AFC title game. So I'm sure that's going through his mind. I will say the fact that he was not wearing anything today, I don't think that's gamesmanship on the Jaguars' part. I think Trevor Lawrence is planning on playing. So I think it's going to take him not healing to his liking between now and Sunday. So I think it's getting much more closer to a 50-50 call.
Monday night when he threw his helmet, slammed the helmet, I thought he's not playing again this season. Then by last night I thought with what Doug said, like Hayes said, okay, there's a chance he's playing again soon, not on Sunday, but very soon. And after today, after Trevor meeting with the media and he was laughing and joking at times, I think he might play Sunday.
Here's the beauty of this whole thing, right? And I'm kind of where you guys both are, by the way. But here's what I think. Here's the beauty. I'm now convinced the most he'll miss is one game. And he may not miss a game. But I'm now watching him today, hearing the talk about it. I'm now convinced he's got a high ankle sprain. It doesn't need surgery. It's very similar to what Patrick Mahomes did last year. I'm now convinced that if he doesn't play against Cleveland, and I don't know if he's playing, none of us, I don't think he knows. I don't think anybody knows. But I'm now convinced it's not a very serious injury. And I'm like you, Lauren. When he went down, I thought he's gone. Because you think the worst, and you see him writhing in pain there. And so I think at worst he won't be out very long. That's my opinion. And I told you guys yesterday, I'll stand by this. Whoever plays quarterback, I think the Jags are going to play really well on Sunday. I just have this feeling that when challenged like this, is when they are really good. And I think they're going to play really, really well in that football game. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or not. But my gut tells me the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see. A lot to talk about today on the program. I got a lot of thoughts about the portal that concern me for a lot of teams. I'm going to really get to the portal today and some thoughts. It's one of our main topics. I want to talk about Florida. I want to talk about Jags-Cleveland because Jags-Cleveland is important now. I mean, it's an important game. Apart from the Trevor injury, I don't think they're going to have Christian Kirk for a while. I think Doug intimated yesterday that there's probably going to be a surgical procedure, which I think is probably going to happen. So a lot to get to. So some portal talk today, college football talk, looking back at the decision about Christian Kirk. I mean, about Florida State not getting in, talk about Christian Kirk being without him. We've got a lot of things I want to get to. But I'm going to start with this. I don't do this very often. I said at the handoff I was going to do it. I rarely talk about other broadcasters, play-by-play guys, and because I know how hard play-by-play is. I rarely talk about talk show hosts. Frankly, I know how hard talk show hosts are. I don't rip. You guys know me. The people that have listened to this program, sadly, you've probably listened to it for a long time. I've done this 36 years. So I rarely call out anybody for – and when all the Colin Cowherd stuff was on Twitter yesterday, I wasn't going to bother him. I wasn't going to get bothered with it. If you don't know, I'm not going to read it. It doesn't deserve being read. But essentially, I can't take the Jags seriously because of the cart, blah, blah, blah. Trevor Lawrence spoke to the cart thing today. He said it was totally his decision. We have one of the best medical staffs in the league. Well, let me weigh in on that. First of all, I can tell you definitively that the Jacksonville Jaguars medical staff is regarded as one of the best ones in the league. I can tell you that. I can also tell you when the DeMar Hamlin thing happened, and that was all the talk of how well the Bills medical staff, the Bengals medical staff, because the game was in Cincinnati, the people at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, how everybody came together and how well they handled that. When that was over, CNN really wanted to do a story. A national news network wanted to do a story about how were they so ready? How did they know? And they came to Jacksonville to do it. Sanjay Gupta did it. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but it came to Jacksonville. Did you see it? Mm-hmm. You saw it, didn't you, Hayes? Yeah. This big story. There's 32 teams. They could have gone wherever they wanted. They're CNN. They chose to come to Jacksonville and spend a day shadowing the Jacksonville staff because the word is out that the Jacksonville medical team, the medical professionals here, I know a bunch of them, so I know that I wasn't surprised by it, are as good as it gets. For Colin Cowherd to go on a national a national platform, and to say, I can't take the Jacksonville Jaguars seriously, why didn't they even have a cart? Everybody has a cart, was one of the most clownish, irresponsible things I've ever seen anybody do. To make fun of a fan base because of how someone wore a shirt or whatever, I don't care about that. That's part of sports. But to rip when you do that, you are ripping medical professionals who are good at their job, who spend their whole life and longer than most of us do in school honing that craft so they can be the best in the business, and they are the best in the business at it. They are among the number one. All 32 medical staffs in the NFL are among the best in the world, or they wouldn't have the jobs. And the Jags are one of the best there. To call out a Jaguar medical crew that is highly regarded and well known for what they do because there wasn't a cart. As Trevor said today, when the medical staff got out there, they said, Trevor, they knew immediately what it was. They said, Trevor, do you want a cart? No, I'm good. They offered the cart. The cart pulled up to the sideline. Trevor said, no, I'm good. He helped it out. Trevor did kind of laugh about it. They said, I didn't realize how far the walk was, but it was totally my decision, which happens all the time. He might play this week. I don't think they're bringing out a lot of carts for guys who play the next week. Maybe I've missed it, but I'd like to see the percentage of carts versus play the next week. I can't imagine there's very many of those. Okay, he sprained his ankle. You generally don't bring out a cart for a sprained ankle. I'm not dismissing the injury, what happened. But Colin Cowherd, and I've always liked his work. I don't know him. I've had him on the air a few times. I've always liked his work. But it had nothing to do with medical. It had nothing to do with Trevor. It had nothing to do with the cart. It was one more big city guy. Let me make fun of the little Jacksonville people being rubes and rednecks. That's what it was. It was let me rip Jacksonville for being rubes and rednecks. Well, don't be a jackass, Colin. And I'm not supposed to say jackass on the air, I'll pay the damn fine. But don't be a jackass. It had to call out someone's medical crew was one of the dumbest, stupidest things I've ever seen someone on radio do. Don't be an idiot. I'm sorry your LA teams aren't any good. I'm sorry that, yes, whether you don't like the fact that we have a team, well, we do have a dang team, and it's better than both of your teams. Hell, we spotted them. We spotted one of your teams 27 points last year, and you still couldn't win the damn game. All right? So quit popping off. I thought it was one of the most irresponsible, inappropriate, stupid things I've ever heard a national guy say. I can't take the Jaguars seriously because they didn't have a cart. What a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass. And I almost went to it yesterday and I said, you know what, I'm not going to do it because everyone's responding to it. But I thought about it some more last night, and I thought about it more today. We have a team, whether you like it or not. We're going to have a state-of-the-art stadium, whether you like it or not. We might win the goddamn Super Bowl, whether you like it or not. We got one of the best coaches in the league, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and a fan base that is unrivaled, in my opinion. So the hell with you if you don't like it. I don't really give a damn whether you don't like it or not. But don't be an idiot. It's disappointing that a guy that's that articulate, that's that intelligent, that has that much of a platform would say something so freaking stupid on the air and call out a medical staff that's one of the best ever. Don't be a jackass. We'll talk sports in a minute. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
He's not the Department of Defense that holds the line.
The leader of the elite task force for the DSS.
It's the defensive player of the game.
Intercepted.
Catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game on 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida Gator basketball able to overcome falling back by 10 twice last night against Merrimack. Gators able to flip the script in the second half, scoring 20 consecutive points at home to win 77-57. And former Florida quarterback Tim Tebow was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame Tuesday night, becoming the 13th Gator to do so.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I'm so impressed with Darley's Plumbing and the work they're doing at our new Walk-Off Charities field. The Darley's team has been so easy to work with on this great project. I heard good reviews about them for years, and they have absolutely proved it to me. I learned Darley's is a company I can trust for my plumbing needs, and you can too.
Thanks for those kind words, Frank. At Darley's Plumbing, we don't just do residential house calls. We're your first draft pick for commercial business plumbing too. Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Attention car buyers, are you in the market for a new vehicle? Are you noticing the markups on vehicles on dealers' lots? Well, come to Key Buick GMC, where we never have markups on our vehicles. Ask for Derek or Brian. In addition, Key Buick GMC is the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. Holidays are approaching, and we are your local service headquarters. That's Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah and Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you ready for Billy Napier's second season on the Florida sideline during the Gator Bites podcast, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, with new episodes dropping every Wednesday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates?
You will love dealing with Craig, what a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Look, Christmas is almost here. It's time to get that home repair project you've been putting off done before the family comes over. Let First Coast Home Pros Handyman Services tackle the honey-do list for you. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hey, it's Carline here for QC Kinetics. Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are getting back to living normal life again. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. 2 great locations, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Give them a call at 904-274-5522. Again, 274-5522. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Again, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Give them a call, 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics, 274-5522.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, Lauren Brooks, RJ Saunders with you. We're live from Island Wing Company here on the south side. Gorgeous day here on the First Coast. Jags and Browns come up. Trevor Lawrence met with the media today. We talked about that. Had to get the other stuff off my chest a little bit. I did. Now let's talk about the football game.
I think you did a great job, by the way.
Thanks. And I appreciate it. The football game's a big game. You're fighting now for a spot. You're still fighting for home field. If nothing else, you're certainly fighting to win a division against 2 teams that are pretty game in the division. Say what you want. Both the Texans and the Colts have been feisty. You know, I would have got that wrong. I would have thought, just because they always have been, that the Titans would be the biggest pain in the butt to the Jags to try and win. And I was way off. It's the Colts and the Texans, and they've been good. But I got a good feeling, Hayes, about how Jacksonville's going to play. It's going to be wet. It's going to be rainy. People are going to be down on them. You're playing against a quarterback that's not very good. You might have your good quarterback. If not, your backup just went 9 out of 10, and I thought looked damn good. Jacksonville this team is real. As much as I hate to get into cliches, this team is really good when challenged. You know, really good when people don't think they're so good. Really good when it happened in the middle of last year on. It happened this year after they lost the 2 games. I have a good feeling about how Jacksonville's going to play against a good Cleveland team, certainly a damn good Cleveland defense. I'm looking forward to it. I'd look forward to it more if it was 75 and sunny, since broadcast booths are open air. But I'm looking forward to how I think they're going to play. I really mean that.
Yeah, I mean the weather I don't think will be too big of an issue. I mean considering what Cleveland can be in December, so there's no snow. It's going to be low 50s and probably rain. So it's not going to be picturesque, but. It's certainly, I think, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be a 5 and not a 9.5 if you were in a blizzard or something. And I wish I could share your optimism about the matchup. I think it's a terrible matchup for the Jaguars. I think Cleveland is going to maul them. I think ETN is going to have no room to run. I think if it is Beathard, I think he's going to be under duress quickly. And I think it's going to be difficult. Now, the good news is I think if they can find their way to 17 points, they're going to win the game. And they might be able to win it with 13. I do think the Jaguar defense will be fired up. I think they'll play well. And I think they match up fine with Cleveland. Cleveland's got a whole host of issues offensively on their own. So, I mean, I think it's a 13-12 kind of game. Certainly the Jaguars could win it. But I think offensively, the Jaguars are in for a rough 3 hours on Sunday in Cleveland.
I think the interesting part is who plays left tackle. Is it Walker Little? Is it Blake Hance? And then how does the left tackle and then Anton Harrison at the right tackle position, how do they block? And does the interior play a little bit better? I mean, the Titans, we talked about their vaunted defensive front. That's really the main strength of their team. And the Jaguars did perfectly fine against them. So I don't know that the offensive line is so terrible that they can't block the Browns. Obviously, they're going to know Myles Garrett has 13 sacks. No one else has more than 3.5. So they're going to know that going in. They've got to make sure that they key on him. But overall, I hope that they're going to play better. And if it is Blake Hance, I thought he played fine Monday night. But I think the question, is who is the quarterback and what is the game plan going to look like if it is Beathard or if it is Trevor with a slightly sore knee maybe still, but definitely a sore ankle.
Yeah, and I'm not ready to predict a win yet. I mean, if you're playing your backup quarterback against a good defense on the road in lousy weather, without your left tackle and without your best receiver, I don't think they're going to win the game. I'll make that determination in my mind on Friday. I'm not ready to pick either team to win. I just know this bunch, and I know this bunch. I think they're probably ticked off right now. I think they in this every week's a referendum on how good you are, and people doubting them now. And they're not elite, and they're certainly not the Super Bowl contender I thought they were. It was one freaking game that they lost in overtime when their quarterback got hurt, when their best receiver got hurt on the first play, that they lost because they missed an uncharacteristically missed a field goal, and then lost on a 54-yard field goal in overtime. It's their second loss in 9 games, and people all of a sudden think they're not very good. How many people are there? They're obviously not elite. They're obviously not this. And I don't mean just fans. I mean people everywhere. And I'm like, okay, well, I think they will be really motivated. To your point, Hayes, about 17 points wins. The Browns haven't gotten to 20 in a month. For people, the Browns playing with backup quarterback, they have not scored 20 points in a game in a month since November 12th. I mean, they just haven't scored. And so. And is Flacco there? Are they playing Flacco?
They have
playing DTR. Are they playing?
They put Flacco back on the practice squad after he started, which is
Brian
weird.
Sipe, maybe? Will they play? Ed Luther?
Right.
Who are they playing?
I think it's going to be the rookie, DTR, but but we'll see. It's a challenge for Mike Caldwell and his defense because it's two radically different quarterbacks. Yeah. And DTR does concern me in terms of the mobility because I think in a game like this, one field goal could be the difference, and if he's able to scramble 14 yards on a 3rd and 11, that could be the difference in the game, whereas Joe Flacco, you don't have to worry about that. So I hope it's Flacco that plays because I don't really – Flacco doesn't scare me at this point in his career, and he's one-dimensional, whereas DTR does concern me about being a little bit not a little bit, much more of a dual threat. And that could give the Jaguars some issues. Yeah,
they've won one game since Watson got hurt, and that was 13-10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were just not very good. And that was a home game against Pittsburgh.
I think that's what this game's going to be, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the Jaguars will be the one with the 13 or Cleveland will have the 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what the over/under is on it, but. I mean,
I
would be very,
take the under no matter what it is.
Very confident in the under in this game.
It's 30.5.
Yeah. 30.5? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know that it's going to be that. But that means a 17-13 game, you win your bet. I don't think it's going to be a lot of scoring because I agree with you on the Jaguar defense. I think they're going to be locked in. They were embarrassed on Monday. I mean, they just played terrible football in terms of everything. Assignments and the fundamentals of tackling and the confusion and communication element. I mean, it was the holy trinity of just awfulness on defense. And so I do think they will be ready. And I do think they match up well with what Cleveland is going to throw at them because, again, Cleveland's really beat up on offense. But I certainly worry about the other side of it for the Jaguars.
The Browns have not scored 20 points in a game in a month. The 49ers game is the only time the Jags haven't scored 20 points in 2 months. The Jags have been, other than the 49ers game, the Jags have been a scorer. Now, look, they may not have their quarterback. I get it. You don't have Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence, and what you scored in the past doesn't matter. I understand that. And they haven't run the ball very well. And not playing, if you don't have your quarterback, and we don't know if they will or not, if you do have, if you're playing in the rain against a really good defense without your quarterback, right? You're right, Hayes. Logic says this is 13-9 somebody. I hear you, and I like I said, I just think that I think it's a worked up Jags team. Like I said before, I'm way more worried about next week on Sunday night with the whole world watching against what I think is a real. I think the Ravens, by the way, might go to the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens have a Super Bowl contending team, and I mean I think the Ravens are really good. There's a toughness. I think Lamar Jackson is a really good player. I think they're really well coached. I think they rise to the big moments, and Sunday Night Football is a big moment. That game scares the hell out of me, regardless of who plays and who doesn't. I can tell you this. If Trevor Lawrence didn't get hurt at the end of that game, win or lose last week, I'll tell you right now I'd pick the Jags. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care the setting. I don't care the defense of the Browns. If Trevor was healthy, now I don't mean if he's going to play healthy. If Trevor Lawrence had never gotten injured, I would tell you right now I'm picking the Jags next week.
I would too.
Yeah, I'm very confident against.
Because I think he would pull something out.
Yes.
To get you to the 17 you need.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And you're probably the number you're saying is about right. That's the you get to 17-19, you probably win the game. Again, the Browns aren't.
But
very
they'd
good.
never go according to what we think, right?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
never. But I mean,
well, the league never does.
We certainly thought
against
the
48-44.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we certainly thought against the Bengals, you just put up 21 and you're going to win the game. It's a backup quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And obviously that's not what happened. By the way, Mary Kay Cabot, I saw last night, she wrote that the Browns should start Joe Flacco, but also have DTR ready to, not exactly say who you're going to start, but have him ready, but make the Jaguars prepare for both, like you were saying. Either way, it's Joe Flacco.
And I got to tell you, I don't know that I'd rather, right at this point in his career, not vintage.
Right.
This point in his career, I'd rather have C.J. Beathard than Joe Flacco. If those are your two options.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in their career, if it winds up being Flacco, I'd rather have today's C.J. Beathard over today's Joe Flacco. So we'll see what winds up happening. I'm a little bowed up. I'll bet they're bowed up. Some of this stuff kind of amazes me that gets said out there, and so I think the Jags are going to play very well in the football game. I just really do.
I think, Frank, had it not been Monday night and for the number one seed, had that game been Sunday at 1 o'clock and the number one seed wasn't on the line, I don't think as many people nationally would be attacking the Jaguars the way that they are.
And it's really not that. It's one clown.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Well, but it is. It's one clown that's an idiot, and I said what I said about him. I'm not going to belabor it, but it just seems to me people have been waiting to say the Jags are frauds, and maybe I'm just being insecure and paranoid. It just seems to me, look, they're 7-2 in their last 9 games. That's hard to do in the National Football League. I don't care who you are, it's hard. The 49ers aren't 7-2 in their last. The Chiefs aren't 7-2 in their last 9 games. It's hard to do, and it just seems to me that people haven't acknowledged that. And maybe I'm being paranoid and insecure, and maybe they have, and I'm just being maybe I've got small city syndrome myself. And I can't shake it, but screw it. I think the Jags will play well. I can't wait for the game. And I may say that. And again, do I wish it was 75 and sunny and everybody was healthy? Sure, but there's that whole gritty not pretty thing. It's cliche and folksy as it sounds. There is something to it. The teams that have a blue collar toughness to them go awfully deep, Hayes.
They better bring it Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. And I agree with you. And by the way, every point you've made of why you're concerned are dead on. The Browns are good defensively. It does look like it's shaping up to that game. The Jags might not have their guy. I hear you, bro. Every single point you've made, I get. Mine's just a gut that they're going to play really well and lose the game, by the way. It's just a gut that they're going to play well in the game. So
yeah, I would be surprised if they played really well and lost. That would surprise me.
Yeah, I hear you. And then we'd have to define what we're really willing. All right, more Jaguar talk coming up as we move along. Glad you're with us on a Wednesday. It's brought to you by our friends at AC Design and live from Island Wing Company, where I've got 2 more to eat. I'm going to eat one of those. I promise you that. Coconut shrimp. When we come back, though, concerns about the portal, concerns about college football teams that aren't Georgia and Alabama. I'm going to explain after this.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
Travis Etienne scores in Jacksonville. Strikes first. Trevor dives into the end zone. He stuck the ball over the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Allen. Has he done enough this year yet? Wow. How good is that?
Got about a month of football left, and it's full steam ahead.
It's a quick turnaround. It's really must-win mentality all the time. So, good Cleveland team we're about to go face. We got to right our wrongs, get back in the win column.
Next up, Cleveland, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL. Here's what's happening in Bulldog Country. The Georgia Bulldog Report, brought to you by Travis Cummings and the Bailey Group.
The top-ranked Bulldogs fell to number 8 Alabama, 27-24 on Saturday in the SEC Championship. Bulldogs running back Kendall Milton had 2 touchdowns in the SEC title game, but Georgia quarterback Carson Beck was held without a touchdown pass by the Crimson Tide defense. The loss put Georgia out of the college football playoff.
The deal of the year is here at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now you can save thousands off original MSRP on pre-owned 2023 models, like a Toyota Corolla LE starting at just $18,881. A 2023 Toyota Camry LE or RAV4 LE as low as $23,881. You can even get a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road 4x4 as low as $38,881. Shop arlingtontoyota.com and save thousands today.
Arthritis is the most common cause of joint pain in America and affects more than 50 million adults. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. For reliable diagnosis and comprehensive treatment options, come see me and the specialists at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. With more than 35 years of experience in orthopedics, our team delivers compassionate and dedicated care to relieve your pain. Set up a visit today by scheduling online or calling the office. Log on to barryorthopedics.com with locations across Jacksonville.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner and guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com/shadows. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 6, 1992, 49ers wide receiver Jerry Rice catches NFL record 101st touchdown in a 27-3 win over Miami.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. If you found a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't walk past it, so don't pass up a chance at easy cash with MyBookie. MyBookie has the biggest online selections of odds and contests to fill all your sports betting needs, anytime, anywhere, so you can turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars beat up Jaguars, a 3-point underdog Sunday at Cleveland. The Jets, a 6-point underdog against the Texans. That game is in New York. And the Colts and Bengals, a pick'em game. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, the holidays are here, and that time is now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie. Use promo code 1010XL and claim your deposit match, redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Hey, hon, our new True Flame Grill from CSS is installed and ready to go.
I still can't believe what a great deal we got from CSS. They're always so good to us.
Well, they said the new True Flame Grills redefine value for premium craftsmanship. I mean, look at this thing. Multiple heat zone separators, stainless steel to withstand the weather.
A lifetime warranty and cool lighting so we can grill at night.
Okay, let's get cooking.
True Flame Grills. See them today at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Men, suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work?
Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Parker Washington dazzled in his outing on Monday. The former 6th-round pick tallied 6 receptions for 61 yards and recorded a touchdown in what was a spectacular performance. The wideout was simply a primetime performer under the primetime lights in Duval. Parker Washington is your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Now is the perfect time to make sure that your roof hasn't been damaged after storm season. Schedule a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. And right now, get 15% off your roof replacement and repairs. Plus, flexible financing options are available. This offer expires December 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Trevor Lawrence today on how he's feeling after suffering a high ankle sprain against the Bengals.
I feel a lot better. I feel really a lot better than I would have thought I'd feel. You know, I'm very fortunate. I'm thankful that it wasn't a worse injury, you know, than what I kind of thought it was on the field. So I'm thankful for that, you know. Just some flexibility, you know. Will, my guy in the weight room that trains me and stuff, is doing a good job. Needs a raise or something. So he's doing a good job. And yeah, I mean, I'm just thankful, and I appreciate all the people, the thoughts and prayers. And thankfully it wasn't anything serious, but you know, that stuff means a lot, and it worked. You know, I'm feeling good, so I'm thankful for that.
Trevor Lawrence this afternoon. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
It is an AC Designs Wednesday. We're glad you're here with us. We are live here at Island Wings Southside, having a good old time. And you can, too. We devoured our coconut shrimp. Frank finally finished them off.
Oh, they were
Don't
good.
Don't worry, everyone.
Very good, very good. Worth the wait.
Absolutely. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carla, and I'm Lauren Brooks live here. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. All right, as of now, Frank, there are about 1,500 players in the transfer portal as far as we know, and I'm sure that list is going to grow. Last year it was about 3,000. How do people even keep up?
They expect 5,000, north of 5,000 this year is everything you see. Here's what I will tell you. 2 alarming ones today, or within the last 24 hours. I mean, alarming. Princely Umanielen, am I saying it right?
Umanielen.
I think that is a big one, and I think that's a very big one, and I think Patrick Payton out of Florida State is a big one. I asked you yesterday, Hayes, which key players are coming back, because the Seminoles have so many veterans. Payton's the guy you mentioned.
He's the number one guy by a mile.
Yeah, and he's going to leave now to go play for some other team.
I mean,
after this,
certainly there's a chance of that.
Good point. When you go in the portal, you don't necessarily leave. That's a very good point.
And I think he hasn't necessarily entered the portal. He announced his intention to enter the portal, which I think is communicating to FSU, pay me or I'm leaving.
Well, no, maybe you. And I didn't see it that way. Maybe you're right. Usually when a guy says he's going to the portal, he winds up the next year playing for a different team. There's some exceptions.
Correct.
But usually the minute you hear a guy say I'm going to the portal, whether he's officially in, whether he's not, there could be an exception to your point, Lauren. But usually that means next year you're playing for a different team.
And I would think, again, Florida and Florida State have had discussions with those two respective athletes on what's it going to – if it's a financial problem, what's the number? And so, I think it's two totally separate cases. I think in Princely's case, I do think he wants to go. I think he wants to ring chase. Frankly, I'm surprised he's not entering the draft. I thought, he'd probably be a second-round pick.
I think he's a pretty good player.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
It's other than quarterback, it's certainly the number one defensive priority that every general manager and coach is looking for in terms of edge rush. So, I didn't think he was going back to Florida because I thought he'd be in the draft. But to have him basically say, no, I'm not going pro.
He said he's staying in college.
I'm just leaving Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that basically is, I think, a player that is looking to ring chase. Peyton, it's interesting because that one I wonder if that's just everybody's leaving and he just is like, you know what, I kind of want to close my career here too, or this portion of my career here too, and go to a Georgia, Alabama where, I know I'm in the mix to win a ring next year.
In the case of Umanmielen from Florida, I'm telling you now that is a very big deal, because here's how you get fired. In this day and age, you get fired by not keeping your veteran starters. If your young players who maybe they just didn't mesh with the city, the staff, the team, whatever, leave, it happens. If the guy on the bench leaves because he wants to go play, it happens. If a coach gets fired and you don't want to play for that staff, that's why the whole Texas A&M team's leaving. It happens. But when a veteran starter who's one of your better players, when they start leaving, that's when coaches get fired. I think that is and I don't want Billy Napier to get fired. I'm rooting for him to be good. I want him to be good enough next year to get to the fourth year, because I think you'll have a talented team. But when your veteran starters start leaving, the year before it was Tarkin, and it was Josh Braun, and it was Donovan McMillan, and Tyron Hopper, and Antoine Powell-Ryland, and Ethan White. They wound up being good players for their next school. That's a lot of guys that were good players for their next school. That's a problem. Princely, Umanmielen, I want to say it right. Princely's going to be a good player for his next school. He's a good player.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a damn good edge rusher who I agree with Hayes would have been a second-round pick. Now, look, stay in college and you might get to the first round, but the fact that you're doing it somewhere else, my read on him, and I don't know this, but he was the chippiest, most outspoken player I saw about angry fans. He was always on Twitter going, I can't believe you fans. I can't believe you complain about this much. I can't believe he said that a lot, and then he left. So I think he's trying to leave Gator Nation. I don't know that it's ring chasing with him. I think he's tired of it. Now, news bulletin, Princely, every school's got Swamp Blizzard 34. It's just a different. And by the way, the real Swamp Blizzard 34. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying every school's got.
Well, I think he changed it after
he did.
He did. He admitted he did. But every school's got angry fan guy. Every school's got that. And the reality is I think that's one of the reasons he left. But I'm telling you, that's a warning sign when your veteran starters, your talented veteran starters who are among your best players, leave your school to go to another school. That does not happen in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. They have guys leave, but it's because they weren't going to play. And they have young guys leave that maybe didn't mesh. But you'll never see a school like that. I won't say never.
You're saying Brock Bowers isn't playing for Oklahoma next
Brock
year?
Bowers is probably not going to Oklahoma. The veteran star players don't leave. I'm telling you, that is a major, major red flag. And part of it might be something Billy Napier, the staff, did. Part of it might be he's tired of the fact that it's clear Billy does not connect with his fan base on many levels. But whether it's that dysfunction, whether it's the dysfunction on the field, that's a gigantic warning sign, I think, for a football program.
Yeah, we talked about this a week ago, and the question was simply, in 10 days are we going to be having a conversation of did Florida really make an error in not firing him after the day after the FSU loss? And again, it's one player, but he's not the last. That I can assure you. And so it does make you wonder what kind of nucleus is going to be back, and is he going to have to go get, if you need 15 really good players to win 8 games on this schedule next year, is he going to be able to find 11 of them between the portal and this signing class? Because I don't think he has that many on the roster now. And so it's I think it's a massive concern, and I think it shows that he doesn't have the belief. I mean, Mertz is staying, but I think Mertz was taken care of financially, and again, Mertz has a broken shoulder. Who's to say what he would have done had he been healthy? I don't think he would have been picked in the draft, but maybe he would have declared. Maybe he would have done what Princely's doing and said, I'm getting back in the portal. I mean, I've rediscovered, myself as a player, and now let's see what kind of bids I can get. So I think Florida's in a really, really bad place. I think it's only going to continue to get worse. And I do think it's going to be, again, all this is new. Florida just keeps getting blindsided. Like every time the landscape of college football changes, the Gators are always blindsided by it the most for whatever, whether it's dumb luck or lack of vision, whatever it is. Facilities are a big deal. Florida doesn't do anything on facilities. Then, Florida finally does something on facilities, and no one cares about facilities anymore because it's now all about NIL. Florida has to hire a massive recruiter, elite recruiter, because of how bad Dan Mullen was at doing it. They hire Billy Napier, elite recruiter. That doesn't matter anymore because now it's all about NIL and the portal and scheme. I mean, it's absurd how the University of Florida for 10 to 12 years now, in different administrations, has been 2 steps behind on where college football is. And they continue to be and will continue to be as long as Billy Napier is the coach there, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I hope next year he wins 9 games and stuns us all on a brutal schedule. And he's had some bad luck. But, I mean, I see a bad in-game coach that's now losing the small core that he has.
Yeah, and I think that sends a bad message, Frank, to your point, to other players in the transfer portal. When they see a guy like Princely Umamnielen leaving, they're going to go, well, if he's leaving and he was the sack leader for that team, why would I want to go there? There must be something going on underneath the surface, not just the losing. There must be more going on than that.
Yeah, how do you not ask the question at least? And again, I get he was a Dan Mullen recruit. If there's one mistake, listen, you know my stance on this. I don't think they should have fired Billy Napier this year. I think if you keep firing coaches every 2 years, you're always rebuilding. And yes, you might fire a coach every 2 years and then fall into the right guy, the perfect guy. But teams that fire coaches a lot usually don't. Alabama went through it. They finally found the right guy in Saban, but they went through it. Teams that keep firing coaches usually don't find the right guy. But having said that, this one, if there is a mistake he's made that I think jumps off the page somehow, some way, you don't get the sense he's had much of a bond with the Mullen recruits. Part of being a new coach is, yes, you want to get your guys in there, but you have to bond with the other guys. I mean, I'll say it again, Tarkin, Josh Braun, Ethan White, Antoine Powell-Ryland, Tyron Hopper, Donovan McMillan. Now this 11 guys this year. That's too many. That's too many guys from the previous guys' staff. That's too many. And now some of your guys are leaving. I mean, Caleb Douglas and Chris McClellan were his guys. Will Norman was his guy. I'm very concerned. I find myself very concerned. And I'll say this: Florida's got some very good young athletic defensive players. Hayes, we've talked about it before. Kilby Collins and T.J. Searcy and Cameron James and Justice Boone and L.J. McCray, who, if he comes, are all going to be good edges. You got to win with 22-year-old guys, man. No one's winning conference championships or national championships with teenagers. They're not. Teenagers can supplement it. The best example of all was Florida in 06. Look, they don't win the national championship without Tebow and Percy Harvin. They don't win it without them. But make no mistake, that team was a team full of 20-somethings. That team won the national championship because of Marcus Thomas and Joe Cohen and Reggie Nelson and Chad Jackson and Andre Caldwell. I could go all day, right? I mean, that's why they won it with those guys. They won it with 23-year-old Deshaun Wynn, not with 19-year-old or 18-year-old Percy Harvin. They don't win it without him. Now, when those guys got older, they were the stars of the team. So again, and the same thing about Patrick Payton at FSU. There's more to the story than I know, and maybe you're right, Lauren. Maybe it's a leveraging play, but I don't think so. My guess is Patrick Payton's going to be on another team next year. Usually that's what happens. Boy, Florida State needs to. It was a magnificent. The real shame of the FSU season is if they wind up not having a good, they didn't get in this year. If they wind up not having a good team next year, can they get back? Now he's having a very good recruiting year, but can he get back in? Does he have to keep using the portal? I'll say it again. I thought if you're a Florida State fan, Patrick Payton, and moreover, if you're a Florida fan, Princely Umanmielen on the heels of all the other ones, I'm telling you, I think it's a bad sign. I really do. I think it's a dangerous sign for anybody in college football that's not Alabama or Georgia.
It's December 6th today. I want to say it was maybe less than a month ago, Frank. We were at Island Wings Bartram, and you asked us, is Billy Napier the head coach in 2025?
Right.
And I think all three of us said yes, if I remember correctly. And we were banking it on the recruiting, obviously, and all those things. I'm starting to think we all three might have a different answer today based off of everything that's happened since then.
That is a great point. Hayes, I'm pretty sure, would say no.
Yes.
I think I would probably say yes, but I hear you. Yeah, I would say yes with the
hard lean towards no.
Yeah, but you got to say one or the other.
Right. Yeah, I would say no.
Okay.
Now.
So y'all would both say no. I'm still going to say yes, but today's concerned me. Look, Tarkin and Ethan White last year concerned
me. And this isn't it.
Yeah.
It's not like this is the last
one
of these.
The portal just opened.
Right. And maybe it's because listen, when if Trevor Etienne leaves, it's gonna stink. But I've kind of prepared myself for that one. I didn't see this one. I thought Princely was going to the NFL.
That's what I thought. I didn't expect him back on next year's team.
Yeah, and he's from Texas.
Yeah,
and maybe he's going to Texas, and by the way, he knows where he's going. By now, these guys they all know where they're going.
I would think.
I would think you're going to see him announced to Oklahoma, Texas, A&M, whatever. I would think you're going to see that within a few days. I mean, we heard Brock Vandegrift was going 12 minutes ago. And 11 minutes ago, he's committed to Kentucky. So I think most of them know.
And I think that's the other thing that's a little disappointing from a Florida perspective. Look, you're not getting ready for a bowl game. You're all about building your roster. And Billy Napier's going around and visiting the high schools and focusing on the high school recruiting. And I certainly understand the importance of that. But take advantage of the fact that you've settled your quarterback. You're one of the few schools in the country that knows who your quarterback is next year. And Graham Mertz, and you really know who your first two are, because assuming Lagway signs, and I have no reason to think he won't, you know who your top two quarterbacks are. Well, take advantage of that. While these other coaches are scouring the portal, trying to find their next quarterback, go sign 2 receivers, and go sign 2 or 3 offensive linemen and a defensive enforcer. Now, in defense of him, we're not seeing those players be signed elsewhere, but he needs to seize this. I mean, he needs to be leading the way. The only way he is going to survive is if Florida just absolutely does a fantastic job in the portal. And so far, we've seen athletes tweet out, hey, Florida's offered me, but you haven't really seen any sort of, well, you've certainly seen no additions. You've seen no commitments or anything like that. Take advantage of the fact that you've already got the biggest piece of the pie figured out and get a jump on these other players.
And the thing, by the way, in portal is you have to have volume in the portal, because nobody knows the players. Nobody knows if the fast receiver from Missouri State, who they're supposed to get, is any good. Say what you want. Nobody knew Jared Verse, who was at Albany, was going to be any good. Right. Now, he turned out to be really good. But nobody knew that John Grenard, who came from Louisville, was going to be good. He turned out to be pretty damn good. You don't know. There's quarterbacks you can go back and watch, or you can hear about, but left guards and defensive ends you don't. So, but that's why you need volume. If you get a volume, what FSU kept doing is they kept getting a bunch of them. You get enough of them, and they're going to wind up being pretty good. So we'll see. But I think Princely leaving, Patrick Payton leaving, both happening. Isn't it interesting? Both would have been their team's best returning pass rusher. Both were at schools around here, even though schools that had incredibly different seasons, and both left in about 12 hours. Isn't that wild?
It is
wild. Both Patrick Payton, at least both announced, to your point, Lauren, maybe he hadn't left.
Apparently he's deleted the tweet Patrick Payton has that he was going to leave.
So maybe he's not going to leave.
But I just checked his Twitter feed, and someone posted that he was going to leave, and he reposted that.
Okay,
So he might have deleted his own tweet, but he still has retweeted
my guess is Patrick
somebody.
Payton is going to leave. My guess is he's going to leave. But the point is, and if you're an FSU guy, if you're Florida, if you're leaving Florida like Princely, all we can glean from the evidence is I asked somebody, somebody that knew Tarkin, I said, why did Tarkin leave? Michael, he was going to be their left tackle. They had a pretty good team coming back. They thought it didn't turn out well. I guess they were 5.5 wins, but they had some reasonably good players. It would have been your last year there. And I asked someone, why did Tarkin leave and why did Ethan White leave? And the word was because everybody's leaving. Nobody wants to stay. I heard that that's what he said. No disrespect, but none of the old guys want to stay, and he was right. All the old guys left, and all Princely leaving looks like hey, it's never going to get better here. Let me go where someone's going to notice me. Patrick Payton leaving, again, I don't know that. I'm telling you, reading it. Patrick Payton leaving looks like, hey, everybody else is going. I'm going too. I'll harken back to something as we go to break here. I know I've told you guys this story before, but the 04s won a national championship in Florida. Horford, Noah, Torian Green, Corey Brewer, obviously Lee Humphrey was on that team. They won a national championship. They all decided to come back together. Okay, even though Horford, Noah, and Brewer were going to be high draft picks, they all came back. The next year, they were still just juniors. They won another national championship, and Horford, Noah, and Brewer all said, now I got to come out. And I think you guys know, and Humphrey was a senior. He had to go. So those four guys were going to go. Billy Donovan, you know the story I'm going to tell. Billy Donovan went to Torian Green and says, you need to come out. And Torian looked at Torian, who's now back on the staff, said, why, Coach? He said, I got another year. He said, because we're not going to be very good, and you're going to get blamed. And people are going to say, well, Torian really wasn't very good. The only reason he had good numbers is he's around all those other good players. And Billy Donovan told him, even though Billy Donovan would have loved for him to come back, Billy Donovan, caring more about the kid and the kid's legacy, I thought that was one of the coolest things I've ever heard.
No doubt about it.
Went and told the kid, you need to come out so you don't get saddled with you weren't all that good, you were just playing with all the good players. I thought it was one of the coolest stories I've ever heard. So sometimes leaving a sinking ship's what those guys are doing. Torian didn't even want to do it. More in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
He's a professor of quarterback play, and class is in session.
We want to take you into the lab so you can learn more about the science of quarterback.
Denny Thompson, Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security.
Register Sausage.
And George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. The newest edition of Donruss football has been out for 5 days, and 9 Jaguars are in the base set. Calvin Ridley, Josh Allen, and Travis Etienne. Look for Trevor Lawrence autographs with Dominators and Gridiron Kings. Showtime, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. Update your collection.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedidic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. It's getting chilly outside, but you can enjoy the outside inside with a new glass lanai from Lifetime Enclosures. Or look ahead and get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. And for the time being, you can stop into Lifetime Flooring to enter to win $20,000 in free flooring during the Score Free Floors promotion. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway and proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey folks, if you want to add value to your home without breaking the piggy bank, Shark Coatings offers multiple finance options to meet your budget. Like a smaller garage for as low as $45 per month, or a standard 2-car garage around $58 a month. And a 4-car driveway with a walkway is only $82 a month. Of course, each property is unique and our design consultants can give you exact pricing for your project. But here's a way to only spend a little each month for the Shark Coatings your concrete floors need now. Shark Coatings, we're ready when you are.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Lauren Brooks here for Hodges Mazda. Why buy from Hodges Mazda at the Avenues? Because they strive to ensure a satisfying and comfortable car buying experience. That's why the sales staff doesn't work on commission, allowing Hodges Mazda to put your best interests first. Whether you're looking for a brand new Mazda or a pre-owned vehicle, Hodges Mazda has a large selection to help you choose from. And every vehicle purchased from Hodges Mazda comes with 2 years free maintenance and free car washes for life. Now that is peace of mind. So visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I've got an Awaken 180 update that you may not believe. I'm 4 weeks into the Awaken 180 program and down 23 pounds. 23 pounds in 1 month. You might be thinking, well, the holiday season has arrived. Now what? Well, I'm not sweating it because over Thanksgiving week, at a time when most are loosening their belt, I dropped 6 pounds. That's right, 6 pounds. Awaken 180 is just stupid easy. Who knew you could enjoy the holidays and still lose weight while eating and drinking and being merry? That's the beauty of Awaken 180. It seamlessly fits into your life, even during holidays, parties, vacations, you name it. If you're looking for real change, give yourself the gift that lasts a lifetime. You looking in the mirror, happy, healthy, after dropping the weight, holding you back with the #1 solution for weight loss, Awaken 180. Do what I did and call Awaken 180 at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Life is short, so eat better pizza at 5 Star Pizza. You want pizza that's bigger, better, and faster? Then get 5 Star Pizza. They also got wings, cheesy sticks, garlic rolls, and they'll deliver it to you right now at 5 Star Pizza.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet Jacksonville. From December 12th to the 23rd, we're lining up the tables with the much-anticipated 12 Days of Christmas high hands and giving away over $275,000 in cash. The excitement grows each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300, and the chance to set sail on a World Poker Tour cruise. Don't miss out on the action. Explore all our December promotions at BestBetJax.com. That's BestBetJax.com, your destination for the best poker action this holiday season.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The undefeated Bradford Tornadoes will play for a state championship on Friday night. Bradford head coach Jamie Rogers on the rematch with Cocoa.
You know, they knocked us out last year 31-21 in the state semis. You asked any of our kids if they could put up a dream scenario, like who to play in the state championship would be the guys that ended their season last year. I think anybody would be that way. So we know it's a tough task. We know how good they are. They got players and playmakers all over the place. I think you want the two best teams to play in the finals, so I think 2S got that.
14-0 Bradford against 13-1 Cocoa for the state championship. Friday night at 8 o'clock in Tallahassee. It's 61 degrees at 4:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. More of the Frangie Show is next on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
We're glad you're with us on a Wednesday installment of our program brought to you by AC Designs. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, Lauren Brooks, RJ Saunders with you as we continue along here talking Jags and college football and a whole lot more. What we haven't done is talk about who we think is going to win in the college football playoff. We talked so much about who didn't make it, and we should have, because Florida State should have been in. They got a raw deal.
Florida State's not in.
They're not in. But with regard to the teams who are in, who do you like?
I like Alabama.
You like Alabama, don't you?
SEC snob.
He's such a snob. He likes Alabama to win the whole thing.
He's not alone.
The way that it went down. I mean, we may not think it was very fair, but yeah, I'm surprised. Last I saw, they were a 1.5-point underdog to Michigan. I'd take Alabama all day long, getting a point and a half.
You too?
Same here,
And,
absolutely. Also, do you remember what happened in last year's semifinal with Michigan? They got beaten by TCU. You don't think Alabama's better than TCU?
Yeah,
you guys are both such disgusting SEC snobs.
And you're right there with us.
I'm right with you. It's just so pathetic. We're
So
just
when we-
pathetic Jacksonville guys and girls. And
When we go to put that game in our picks, RJ will have a game picker up with Michigan if he
you
so
know,
desires.
And when they're doing talk radio in Nashville, who do you think they're picking?
Oh, freaking
how about
Bama.
talk radio in Enterprise in Macon? What do you think they're
What
picking?
about Columbus, Ohio?
But I mean,
I think maybe some people even in Ann Arbor are like, I mean, you saw the video of the Michigan team finding out. They thought they were getting
didn't look
at
too happy.
No, they
without
didn't.
Jordan Travis.
That's the last thing they wanted. Was
we're not getting the bye.
That's the last thing they wanted. So you think Alabama's going to beat Michigan?
I do. I think it'll be fairly handily. I like Alabama by 13 in that game, and I like Texas pretty comfortably over Washington as well. I'll say Texas by 10.
Yeah,
I think it's
like
Alabama,
Texas, too.
Texas, and I'll say Alabama gets the revenge for earlier in the year, and Alabama wins. That will be, I think, a great game, but I'll take Alabama by 4 for the title.
How about you, other SEC snob? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. Current SEC team versus future SEC team in the national title. I do think Alabama v. Texas. We had no idea in September when that game was first played that could potentially be a rematch, but that would be interesting. I don't know if Alabama-Washington has as much juice, and I don't know if Michigan-Texas or Michigan-Washington. Maybe Michigan-Texas because they're Blue Bloods, but still, there's something, I think, sizzling about Alabama being in that championship.
I will say that I think they've got, again, the Florida State stuff notwithstanding, I think they've got intriguing matchups. I don't find myself convinced on any of it. Gun to a head, I'd probably pick Alabama to beat Michigan, but I'm not convinced I'd go that way. I'm not convinced I'd go that way. I probably would.
Michigan can run the ball really well.
Yeah, Michigan's very physical. They're big and physical.
We'll see if that translates.
The question is, can they run well enough to play with the Alabama? Can they run with the Alabamas? And by the way, it's the same question we've always had. It's the same question we had in 2006. Is when Ohio State was big and physical, but could they run with the Florida speed? And the answer was no. You know?
And I think Alabama's physical.
Yeah, they are. Well, they clearly are.
I think Alabama can win that street fight. And if that happens, Michigan's going to get blown out.
Yeah,
because Alabama clearly has more speed. But I think physically, Michigan's impressive.
Yeah,
but
I remember now. Alabama almost lost to Auburn and probably should have. Michigan, meanwhile, damn near lost to Maryland. And probably should have.
And really didn't play anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, other than they played Penn State and Ohio State, and those are two great wins.
Yeah.
Iowa in the conference championship doesn't count.
No.
It's not very good.
And
but Iowa
offensively
not very good.
And their non-conference was a joke.
Yeah.
So,
their first 4 games when they didn't have Harbaugh, it was like, who cares?
The other thing, by the time you get to this point, and it's just like, it really doesn't matter what happened in September.
Also
I mean, we're not on the committee. So, we are just looking at where are these teams
now,
today.
Yeah.
That's our criteria.
Yep.
In asking who's going to win these games. And
who has a better coach?
And to me, and I get it, the Auburn game's recent, but it's the Iron Bowl's weird. It's just it's a weird rivalry where things like that can happen.
I agree with that.
And again, to me, I put way more stock in Alabama beating Georgia than I do Alabama needing a miracle to beat Auburn.
And at the end of the day, they got the miracle. That's I think sometimes we
that's
focus
true.
on the
Good
fact
point.
that they shouldn't have been able to win, but they've completed that pass.
So if Auburn had held on and won, if Auburn knocks the ball away in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yet Alabama still beats Georgia. Okay?
Georgia's 4.
Is Georgia 4?
Yeah.
And FSU still not in?
Yes.
See, I don't know. Because
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because you've got.
The
I don't think you
SEC
can
was
push.
never getting left out.
Yeah,
I agree, but at the same time, I don't see how you leave FSU out. I understand about the quarterback situation.
Yeah, I'm not saying
but,
it's right.
Right, but an
that's what
ACC
I'm
champion, Power 5 champion with no losses.
So Michigan's still in. Washington's still in.
Yep.
You think it's then Texas, Georgia?
Texas, Georgia.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know because
I think they might have. I think the committee
Yeah.
might have had to put FSU in, even though Greg Sankey would have been beyond livid because look at what the SEC's done.
and I don't know that you're not right either. By the way, I hear you, but
I do believe that. I think ESP they're paying a ton of money for the rights to this playoff, and I think part of that is we expect to have an SEC team.
Right.
Ideally,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
champion,
Right.
but we certainly expect to have. I don't think they were going to turn their nose up at the two-time defending national champion who lost one game by 3 points on a neutral field to Alabama.
Yeah.
I think they would have been the 4.
And I can understand that argument, too. And again, we talked about this yesterday. If you were picking the 4 best teams in all of college football, Alabama and Georgia would be some of the 4.
Yeah,
would be 2 of the 4.
Yeah, if you did a power poll of who just you thought was best,
The most feared 4.
yeah, the most feared
Who would you least want to see?
And I think we all said Georgia first.
Yeah.
I still think Georgia is the team I'd least want to play.
Me too.
And then some combination of Michigan, Alabama, Michigan, and then
Texas.
But then Texas, but maybe even a toss-up. Then for me, I don't know. I would say Georgia. For me, I would have Georgia, Alabama, Michigan in some order 1, 2, and 3. I guess I'd have Texas ahead of Ohio State, although I'm not sure I would. It'd be something like that. But that'd be the 5. Here's one for you. If let's say it was a 6-team field, and if it was a 6-team field, would you 2 would have to have buys? Is that what you would do?
Yes.
2 would have buys. Okay, so let's say it's a 6-team field, and Michigan and Washington had the buys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it was 3
is Texas.
3 Texas versus 6 Georgia, and 4 Alabama versus 5 FSU. You know what it would be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would you pick to win the tournament?
Georgia.
I would too, even though they'd have to play the extra game. If it was a 6-team field,
Right, which I thought they should do for this year because of all the controversy.
So
just expand it by 1 game.
So right now it's Michigan 1, Washington 2, Texas 3,
Alabama 4,
Bama 4,
FSU 5, Georgia
FSU
6.
5, Georgia 6. So if they had that, 1 and 2 get buys, Texas would play Georgia, Bama would play FSU. All right, I'm going to stay on this for a second. Georgia versus Texas, the winner then would play Washington. If you didn't reseed, the winner would play Washington. I'd pick Georgia. I'd pick Georgia to win both those games, and then we all know Georgia, Michigan, what that would look like. So I want to stay on this. I got another thought about the playoff that I want to get to after this. Stay with us. 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now, the Lamb Rant, brought to you by the best bet card rooms of Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine.
Time of situation shouldn't influence officiating, but the Zebras need to be damn sure in those situations when they toss the yellow flag. Monday night presented just such a situation in overtime against the Bengals, and in all likelihood was the reason Cincinnati upset Jaguars 34-31. It was 3rd and 7 with 6:08 to play in overtime, and the Jaguars were on their own 45. Backup quarterback C.J. Beathard scrambled and launched a deep pass to Calvin Ridley, who caught it between 2 defenders inside the 5. But rookie right tackle Anton Harrison was called for holding. It was at best a marginal call. It shouldn't have been called. The Jaguars punted and the Bengals moved the ball in position for a winning field goal. Poetic justice, since he outplayed the Jaguars. The biggest story of the game for the Jaguars was the injury sustained by quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Unfortunately, despite everything, the officials played too big a role in the game.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings. Just like those little holiday snow globes, you better get ready to shake up the season because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Right now at Arlington, get financing as low as 2.99% on 10 new Toyota models.
And Arlington has more than 500 new Toyotas available. Plus, every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. Toyotathon is on at Arlington. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online 24/7 at arlingtontoyota.com.
This is Hayes Carline for QC Kinetics. Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are back to living normal life again. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. They've got great locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Give them a call for a free consultation at 904-274-5522. Make that call now so you can get the most out of 2024 and get back to doing what you love. Tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. QC Kinetics, again, 274-5522, locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That's QC Kinetics.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
With Golden Hammer Roofing, enjoy the benefits of their 5-year workmanship warranty. Peace of mind knowing you're protected. There's no out-of-pocket should you have an issue. Having a transferable warranty is a key home selling point for the future. If there's an issue, we've been in the business for over 30 years and will answer the phone. Call or visit Golden Hammer today for their 5-year workmanship warranty.
Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters.
Golden Hammer.
The golden standard in roofing.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Holiday season means plenty of plumbing problems, but Fenwick Plumbing, Cooling, and Heating has you covered with 20% off all plumbing repairs and services. From frozen pipes to garbage disposal disasters, Fenwick's Plumbing Pros will offer peace of mind with same-day, holiday, night, and weekend services. Schedule your plumbing repair or service today and save 20% off. Visit FenwickHomeservices.com.
It's a military battle on the football field.
Football's greatest classic, the Army-Navy game.
Listen for Army-Navy moments. Here we go. Brought to you by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters on 1010XL.
New Year's Eve sale prices are happening now at Superior Fireworks in Orange Park. Locally owned superstore with something for everyone at any budget. Stop in today for early savings or online at SuperiorFireworks.com.
It's easy to get caught up in the holiday scramble, but as we near the end of the year, let's focus on what makes America great, our faith and freedom. Hello, it's Congressman Aaron Bean, and this year I've been busy delivering results for you, from helping with passports and the VA to recovering thousands of dollars in owed benefits from the IRS and Social Security. My team has worked hard to take care of constituents in Northeast Florida. Serving you is what we do. Visit bean.house.gov. This is Congressman Aaron Bean wishing you a blessed holiday season. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on Southside near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. Two great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
Doobie Brothers might have made an appearance on Spotify on that long walk today. Just thought I'd throw that in, being that the Doobies are here right now.
Have you looked at your rap jet?
Yes.
That is a really cool feature.
Yes.
Hey, what?
Have you seen it?
You probably haven't. It's
really
Spotify
awesome.
Wrapped.
So next time you open Spotify, I'm sure mine came in like 5-6 days ago.
Yeah.
Does that sound right for you?
Yeah.
All right.
It's really fun. They do this like 15-point story of what you listen to all year.
Oh, really? I haven't. I'll look at it.
And then it also creates playlists based off of what you listen to the most.
How about that?
Mine are always, like, there's no surprise for me. Whoever I've seen in concert that year, because I listen to their music in a cram session before the concert. So, like, Zach Bryan, who I saw in May, he was number one. Even though he's not necessarily my number one artist, but it's because I listened to his music for, probably 1,000 hours before the concert. I'm a little crazy.
I'll have to look and see.
You'll enjoy it.
That's pretty cool.
I will check it out.
I was so impressed with it. I showed it to Gene, who doesn't know anything about Spotify, and I was like, "You got to see this. This is really creative and kind of fun." And it was interesting. Like mine were very workout based, so it was like kind of like funny. The artists and the bands that were kind of higher at the top, but. It was really cool. They even had like a message from the bands and stuff.
Yes, I got a message from Old Dominion, as a matter of fact, which was fun. But yeah, I wonder after Jimmy Buffett passed away, Frank, if Jimmy Buffett would be higher on your list than certainly normal.
Yeah, and by the way, the artist who just started playing in here, once for the second time, it started with A Pirate Looks at 40. It's a great first.
He probably has a set list that he sticks to.
I was going to say I'm encouraged.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping he'd stick to his set list.
Right. From last time, that was really good.
By the way, I told you this before. This song, A Pirate Looks at 40, which is a great Buffett song, has become like, and the guy's playing it right now, it sounds great. It's become like his anthem since he died. The Buffett anthem is Margaritaville. Right. And right after that is Come Monday. And then is Cheeseburger in Paradise and Son of a Sailor, the song everybody knows. But I'm telling you, at least to me, this is a song the Parrot Heads all know. But this song has, and we all knew it, but this song has become like his song. Isn't it amazing how much you hear the Kenny Chesney sang it with Mac McAnally before they sang Margaritaville on the CMAs.
Yeah, I think because the song is slightly nostalgic is why people are kind of putting that in with Buffett. And to me, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, Margaritaville and Cheeseburger in Paradise are just fun songs.
Yeah.
But when I think of Buffett, I think of something that has a little bit more of a life story to it. And so for me, again, that's why I've really listened to this song more than ever before.
I have too. And it's the ultimate nostalgic song, A Pirate Looks at 40. It's the ultimate nostalgic song.
It is.
I mean, it is. I mean, whether you were a pirate or not, because most of us probably weren't pirates, but it makes you look back.
I had a patch on my eye one time for a while. Does that count?
But this song makes you look back.
I used to steal seafood out of protected waters.
Yes, you did. Actually, that's a true story. The fact that the law still hasn't caught you disappoints me. But this song is the ultimate look back at your life and how'd you do. This is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. And even though it might not have gone the way you wanted, I'm still good. I mean, it's the ultimate, that song.
For me, and I'm hoping this does not happen for a very long time, but whenever we lose Stevie Nicks or another, I guess, important member, but mainly Stevie Nicks out of Fleetwood Mac, Landslide will be played a gazillion times because that's also a nostalgic song.
That's the ultimate nostalgia song, no question. So anyway, he sounds very good in here. Singing "A Pirate Looks at 40" by Buffett. Back to the
Good
playoff.
thing, by the way, Hayes has a bunch of cash,
Yeah,
so we
that's
can
right. That's right.
throw it at him.
Hey, back to the playoff for a second. Now, let me ask you this: if the 6 teams, the 6 teams, the way they're currently ranked, and by the way, what I'm getting ready to say is the way it is, it's not how they'd be ranked, but nonetheless, Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama, FSU, Georgia, in whatever order. What would you expect from FSU? How they would do in that? If Jordan Travis never got hurt. Now, if he never got hurt, they'd have been ranked 3rd. Okay, but or 2nd even.
Right.
But how deep do you think they would go in a tournament like this if Jordan Travis had never gotten hurt?
To the title game.
So you'd pick him to beat anybody but Georgia.
Correct.
How about you?
Now, in your scenario, if they were 3, they'd be facing whom?
Let's say they were 2. Because I think they might have been 2.
They would have gotten a bye.
Let's say that again. Let's say they blow out Florida, they blow out Louisville. They're probably 2, I think, right? Because they were ahead of Washington the whole time.
I would think.
Yeah. So let's say it's Michigan, FSU, Washington, and Texas, or Georgia, whoever.
Because if they're 2, then they face the winner of Washington and, let's say, Texas or something.
In this thing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just throw that out there. I think Texas might win that game. I think I would pick Texas over Florida State in that game.
I'm kind of with Hayes on this. I wouldn't have picked them to beat Georgia. I don't know that I'd pick them to beat Alabama if Alabama was in. I don't know that I'd pick them to beat Alabama. But I don't think Michigan could run with them, and they're really physical. So I'd probably have them beating anybody but Georgia or maybe Alabama. But again, I keep going back to Alabama.
That Miami game, I guess, is stuck with me. The Florida State Miami game.
Well, they almost lost. Yeah, they didn't almost lost. Miami just made it closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
But a healthy Jordan Travis, we all agree they'd have been right there with these teams. That's the thing.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and similarly, if Michael Penix had gotten hurt in the win over Oregon, would they have been in? Would they have been voted in?
Rematch.
Yeah, if he
had broken his leg Friday night.
And they beat Oregon 21-20 instead.
I don't think they would have been.
I'll bet they wouldn't have voted in Travis's health.
Now they would have had more protection because the Big Ten would have tried to protect Washington.
Well, that's a good point.
But I don't know that I don't know how you could put them in. If you leave FSU out.
The great shame in the FSU season is they might have won the damn thing. That's the reason your heart breaks you if you're an FSU fan, not only because you didn't get in, at least if you got in and you lost because you didn't have your quarterback, you got in.
Or if, Louisville beats you.
Right. Then you can live with it.
That's tough. That's football, injury.
But the shame of this is they might have won it.
Absolutely.
I still think Georgia's the best. I felt that even after the Alabama game. But other than Georgia, and maybe I would have picked FSU to beat Michigan. I can tell you that. I would pick FSU. Would you have or no?
Probably not.
Yeah, I would have picked FSU to beat Michigan.
But not because I think FSU wasn't super talented.
Yeah, you just saw them, and you saw.
They're
they were flawed in some areas.
I watched a lot of games, where I thought, But again, at the same time,
look, you could make the argument they weren't lucky to beat Clemson, but they could have lost to Clemson. They had some things really bounce their way to win that Clemson game.
Right, and I think
including a missed field goal, right?
That's the other part of it. Is we didn't get to see a Florida State team led by Jordan Travis against Florida and Louisville to form more opinions. We were able to form more opinions about Georgia against Georgia Tech and Georgia against Alabama and Alabama against Auburn and Alabama against Georgia. Other teams had more of a resume with their starting quarterbacks.
Who would have been the team that got snubbed in a 12 this year? Who was LSU 13th?
That's a good question.
So it gives you some idea of how minuscule this is going to be next year.
Yeah.
Because I want to say LSU's the 13. And actually, the 12 would probably be out because a group of 5 has to be.
That's
included.
where they think the drama will be.
The 12, actually, whoever would be is Ole Miss the 12.
LSU would have been. LSU was 13. Oklahoma
12.
Okay, so Oklahoma and LSU would have been the 2 big snubs.
Yeah, Oklahoma would have been in. They're 12.
Well, I know because the group of 5 has to be.
Which would have been. Is that Tulane?
So
that would have been.
Liberty,
SMU.
I think.
Or Liberty now. Yeah.
Liberty
is 23rd.
Yeah, they're one spot
Tulane
ahead of SMU.
out.
Right.
That's right. So Oklahoma and LSU both would have been out.
And I think we could have lived with that.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
right.
That's right. I think it would have been okay. Well, you know, you lost.
So the matchup, by the way, would have been the fourth. Is it 4 that get a bye? So it would have been FSU 5 playing at home against Liberty. They'd have won that. Georgia 6 versus Ole Miss. Good game.
Georgia would have killed them.
Yeah.
I mean, good game.
The
for
7-10 game would have been Ohio State.
We
Penn.
saw that game.
But you know what, though? We say Georgia, Ole Miss, and Ohio State, Penn State would have been the matchup.
They wouldn't have done that.
They wouldn't
Correct.
Have.
They wouldn't have wanted rematches
yeah.
like
So
that.
they would have found a way not to.
So it would have been Georgia, Penn State, and Ole Miss,
Ohio State. Yeah,
that'd be good.
Georgia,
and Oregon was the 8th seed.
Yeah. Oregon, Missouri would have played.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah, so Oregon
Yeah.
would have played Missouri. Yeah, so interesting stuff. So anyway, back to the point. If FSU, the point of this segment, if FSU had been totally healthy, would you have picked them? How far would you have picked them to go, regardless of what the matchups were? I would not have picked them to beat Georgia. I don't think I'd have picked them to beat Alabama, although who knows?
I would have picked them to beat Alabama.
Yeah, but I probably would have picked them against everyone. Other than Georgia, I might have picked FSU over anybody, which means that's how close they were to winning the damn national title if their quarterback doesn't get hurt.
Right.
That's
against
the
North
ultimate
Alabama.
break.
Yeah.
I know.
And that's the other thing. Against a team that you were,
Yeah.
I mean, they still
They were down 13-0 at in the moment, but yeah.
And obviously you can't not. The play isn't to not play them, but
right. I'm just saying it's just.
No, I know you're not. But
it's a more brutal element to the
Absolutely.
irony of it all.
Yeah.
Is it happened in a game in which you probably didn't need.
Yeah, because next year they're probably a bunch of new starters everywhere, 2 new receivers, new running back, probably a portal quarterback. You saw where DJ Uiagalelei is considering FSU, right? I mean, but you get that impression, don't you, that it's going to be a new quarterback? I mean, a portal quarterback, new skill everywhere.
Yeah.
I
think their offensive line is pretty much all leaving because
everyone's pretty much.
I mean, because all year they talked about
that's
they have
the shame
most
of what happened.
Correct.
So I mean, it's tough. This was the year. That's why Noel fans in the preseason, like Baloo was hilarious.
Sure.
Like got so upset when Urban Meyer was like, I'm picking LSU in this game because FSU still looks like they're a year away.
Yeah.
This is it.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have another year.
Yeah. How overmatched was Urban Meyer if that's his comment?
Right.
So all right, we'll take a
By
break.
the way, real quick, we get these 2 games, the semifinals, on New Year's Day this year because the Jaguars and all the NFL teams play on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
In the past, we've had the games on New Year's Eve and nothing on New Year's Day, but now because of the NFL schedule being a Sunday, we get NFL on Sunday and then these games on Monday.
I love it. I love it. We get a Gator Bowl on Friday.
That's right.
Clemson, Kentucky, on the call. Kidding me?
It's gonna be fun.
So I'll meet with Dabo. By the way, I like Dabo. I mean, our meeting will be Dabo and Stoops. That's 2 of the really cool guys. 2 guys I really like. So I'm looking forward.
Can you
to
get some intel for Billy Napier from Mark Stoops?
Yeah, you know what? I'll ask him. We'll take a break. I got a baseball thought, believe it or not. The winter meetings have begun in Nashville. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
1010XL. Home of the Florida Gators.
Winter temps call for a winter warm-up, and nothing hits the spot quite like the chicken tortilla soup from Chick-fil-A. This delicious blend of spicy shredded chicken, veggies, beans, and seasoned tortilla strips is certain to keep you cozy all season long. Stop by today and enjoy a cupful of hearty, spicy, creamy chicken tortilla soup when you order ahead through the Chick-fil-A app. Available for a limited time.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control, my personal choice for home pest defense, and according to the reviews, the absolute best service, quality, and value in North Florida. You too can bid farewell to bothersome pests and invite serenity into your home. Just go to jaguars.com/sweepstakes and enter the SWAT That Kit contest for a chance to win 3 years of free pest control if the Jaguars block a field goal at a home game this season. Only from Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews are through the roof, and I challenge any law firm to compare results. Clients continue switching to us from other firms because we continue delivering. Recently, a car accident client left a big firm, and Woolsey Morecambe got her 10 times what they said it was worth. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe, 4235.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are attempting to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. How? I've instructed my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. We have thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground and priced to sell. We guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. At Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, we're here to wow you.
Pickett here, the Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1 mile fun run. Sunday, April 14th, the race starts at 7 a.m. under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Their mission, raise awareness about colorectal cancer and related deaths. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Fish are good at hiding. Captain Kevin can help you find them.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Thursday nights at 6.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss on 1010XL AM.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Pickett here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
The Jaguars are in the home stretch of the regular season as they go head-to-head with the Baltimore Ravens December 17th. This Sunday night football matchup is sure to excite as you help us teal out the stands. It's also our Inspire Change game, where fans can learn about our involvement in police-community relations, criminal justice reform, and more. Go to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you for Sunday night football, Jaguars fans.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year where we're starting to bring things down from the attic. Along with that comes the critters that have been hiding up there year-round. Go to RoyalPestServices.com or give us a call at 886-2847. That's 886-BUGS.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Do you have unused funds in your HSA or FSA accounts? Why not put those pre-tax dollars to its best use, your health? Awaken 180 is an approved expense for HSA and FSA plans thanks to the recognized health and medical benefits that Awaken 180 delivers. And remember, those unused dollars might vanish at year's end. So let's make those extra pounds disappear instead. You might be thinking, wait until after the holidays to start Awaken 180. But here's a thought. The program is designed for real life, holidays included. With Awaken 180, you can enjoy celebrations, cocktails, and even those holiday feasts, all while losing weight. Don't wait for the new year to make a change. Use your HSA or FSA funds now for something truly impactful, your health. Start now and step into the new year with more life in your life. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
If you have a slow-draining sink or toilet that sounds like it's about to back up, imagine the potential plumbing emergency when you have family over for the holidays. Flush after flush after flush. Avoid holiday clogs with a call to Duck Duck Rooter today. Duck Duck Rooter will come and resolve those plumbing issues so you can enjoy a free-flowing holiday season. Call 904-862-6769. Visit duckduckrooter.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Famous Quick Lube helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today, where they'll change your oil, rotate the tires, check the filters, wipers, lights, and get you right back to your holiday plans. Famous Quick Lube, 12 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence met the media today for the first time since spraining his right ankle on Monday night against the Bengals.
I feel a lot better. I feel really, I feel a lot better than I would have thought I'd feel. I'm very fortunate. I'm
thankful that it wasn't a worse injury.
Trevor today on the progress of his recovery.
The past, 48 hours have been some big steps, and I'm really happy with how it's healing up. So we'll see. Obviously can't give any answers right now, and just going to take my time and do everything right, and with the medical people downstairs and the trainers and the weight room, check every box that I can to try to be able to play on Sunday.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
Mother, Mother Ocean, I've heard you call. Wanted to sail upon your waters since I was 3 feet tall. You've seen it all.
Well done, RJ.
Very nice,
Buffett, a
RJ.
Pirate looks
Well
at
done.
40. If y'all don't know this song, make sure you listen to it. It is an AC Designs Wednesday. They are hiring certified HVAC technicians, call dispatchers, administrative clerks, warehouse associates, and more. Visit acdesignsinc.net/careers. That's acdesignsinc.net/careers. We were just talking about Florida State, and right as we went to break, I said to you guys, or right after the break, what really is terrible for Florida State is for the men's basketball fans out there. In 2020, we talked about how we thought they were going to win the national championship.
Yeah,
and the tournament was canceled.
And Justin, Jagnol, just sent it. And Justin, honestly, before you sent me this tweet, if you're still listening, Lauren made the point during the break. I said you ought to bring that up. And then Justin tweeted the same thing. So I'm going to read it. Same thing Lauren said during the break. And then said, a minute ago, he said, as an FSU fan, the other heartbreaking thing is we had the best basketball team in 2020, and the tournament got canceled. So it's the second championship you haven't had a chance to go big, and in a big sporting event, and didn't get to do it. I agree with that. I agree with Justin. I agree with you, Lauren. They would have gone. They might have won it in 20. FSU had a really good team.
Absolutely.
A really good basketball team, really good. And the tournament got canceled. So I hear you.
So unfortunate. And
Yeah.
obviously now looking back, the way they were able to do certain events and tournaments, it's just too bad they weren't able to figure out the bubble for 2020 and at least able to crown a champion. By the way, Tom Pelissero just tweeted this out. I haven't seen the Jaguars injury report yet today, but he said, with the status of Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence uncertain for Sunday against the Browns, that part we know, this also bears watching. Backup quarterback C.J. Beathard was limited in practice today with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, now that would be a problem. But I'll bet he'll be able. If Trevor can't go, I'm going to guess that just C.J. can. Where are you going to be on Friday?
On Friday, I'm so glad you asked, Frank. We have our, I don't even know what year. Should I just say 10th? Just make up a year. I'll just say 10th annual.
I think it's more than that.
Maybe more than that. Toy drive benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters. So excited to be at the Ale House at Beach and Hodges for this year's event. And I'm telling you, giving is way better than receiving. Rick Ballou said that to us the other day, that as the older he gets, the more he realizes it's better to give than to receive. Well, it's really true when you're giving to those that are not going to get unless you give. And so make sure you bring an unwrapped toy. It can be a sporting toy, it can be a doll, it can be a bicycle, whatever you want to give. Just make sure you come by Ale House at Beach and Hodges. We officially start collecting at 4, but if you want to come by before that, we'll be there at 3 o'clock. So bring an unwrapped toy. Like I said, goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it is an important thing that we do every year, and it's so incredibly wonderful to see all the toys at the end of the show.
And I want to further a point you said a minute ago, and it's not just our toy drives. So many toy drives that people do are so good, and they're all so wonderful, and please support all of them, or whichever one's easiest for you, not necessarily ours. But ours, on Friday, we connect with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. The reality is, and I want to say this, I want to say it very clearly because it stunned me, the child that gets that toy that you bring, an unwrapped toy, might be the only toy they get. And I've said that so many times that I know some people don't believe that. Well, believe that. Not everybody leads the life you live, I live, we live. They just don't. And trust me, since we started Walk Off in 2017, I've seen it up close and personal. And And the real reality is there are children that don't have a Christmas at all, and their parents explain to them that that's just not what we can do. And we have more important needs than toys, and I get that. But this is a difference you can make, because that toy's going to them. That toy's going to them. That whether it's a sports thing or whatever it is, that toy's going to them. It's going to them. So that's a big deal, man. Friday's a big deal for us, and I thank Brett for coming up with the idea, however many years ago it was, and we'll be.
We need to figure that out at some point, don't we?
Yeah, Brett probably knows.
Yeah,
it's at the Ale House.
I think it's like maybe 12.
It's somewhere in there. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's at the Ale House on Beach and Hodges. And it will be. You'll have a good time in there. Brett buys everybody a drink if you want it. We all hang out a little bit afterwards. It's a really fun night. It's a special Friday night. It's a special Friday night, and it is. And so
we'll be collecting until 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
anytime between 3 and 7, come on by, drop it off. And you don't even have to stay and have a drink if you don't have time. Just
that's
bring
right.
a present
Absolutely
by,
right.
and if you're busy,
that's what
which
most
I
people
understand.
do. Most people, it's a Friday in the holidays. They
Yep.
drop on by and go. So we hope you'll do that. I saw this. The baseball winter meetings are off and running, and the Shohei news is all the news. Who knows when he's going to make an announcement? But I read all about it. Normally I just read about the Pirates, but I read about all the teams. And you might know this if you follow it in the offseason, Lauren. The Rays are trying to trade Glasnow for sure, and possibly a Rosarina. I read that today.
I did not see that, but that doesn't surprise me.
Well, Glasnow I've read 3 or 4 times. And
He wasn't as good
Yeah.
after the injury as they thought.
Yeah, but he's really
But a
good.
Rosarina
man.
is
He's
shocking.
But Tyler Glasnow and Randy Rosarina, you can't trade them. You can't trade them. Tyler Glasnow, he was pretty good after the injury. He wasn't as good. He was pretty good after the injury. They just don't want to pay him. And again, my team's the same way. This isn't. I'm just pointing to one team.
Sure.
There's a handful of teams in baseball that are like that, and you can't trade Tyler Glasnow and Randy Rosarina if you're the Rays. I'm bothered. Seriously, Hayes. I'm so bothered. I do it all the time. It's not a new bother. They're just going to trade them, and they're both in their prime. How old's Glasnow? 28.
That's how old Rosarina is.
They're 27, 28 years old.
I just don't know
He's
how
30.
you
Glasnow's
can
30.
expect to have fans.
They don't expect to have fans.
And you will never have them.
They don't expect
and
to
again,
have
again,
them.
my team's the same way. I'm not just picking on the Rays. My team does the same thing. So my team doesn't even get good first. At least the Rays got good first. But you can't make your point, 'cause I interrupted you.
Well,
but
it's
you
just
can't
like
have
imagine a
fans.
world in which you knew, as a Jaguars fan, that Trevor Lawrence was not going to be a Jaguar in 2 years.
Right.
Because ownership is never going to pay him what another team will.
How discouraging would that
Why
be?
would you even follow the team?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would.
There would be no fans in the stands, to your point. And that's probably
there's
partially
not.
why. Yeah, that's probably partially why they don't have fans in their stands.
When I saw that, listen, one of the guys already got left, Lau, or one of the Laus or Lows, or one of those guys already gone, and so I get that. But you just had the best example. What if the Jaguars? What if there was no salary cap, and the Jags had a cheap owner? And the truth is, there is one. They've got a very giving, wealthy owner. But what if they didn't? And you knew, enjoy Trevor now, because the year after next he's gone. How awful would that be?
It'd be terrible.
It would be terrible.
That's part of being a fan of professional sports.
Yes.
Is having that connection's too strong but having that admiration for an athlete and watching their entire career in your city and being able to say that I watched his entire 15, 20-year career play out. It just to me it's like, if you're not going to give that to your fan base, it's beyond malpractice. It's cruel. It's not just bad business. It's bad for the soul.
I agree with you. I think
Great take.
I think diehard fans of the Rays know what they're getting, and because they've had such success, even while trading Blake Snell, who just won the Cy Young, by the way,
Right.
the Rays still had a really good season. They had some unfortunate things happen towards the end between injuries and Wander Franco and all that stuff, and they still made the postseason. But they traded Blake Snell, who won the Cy Young, and they still were successful. So I think Rays fans understand they have Kevin Cashin, this really good manager, and Eric Niegander, the GM, and all the pieces that they have in place have have led them to winning seasons. So they can't. Again, there's not going to be fans in the stands, but they can't get so incredibly infuriated if they end up trading those guys, because they have to believe, and they have been able to believe, that the guys they're going to get and the prospects they're going to get are going to keep reloading.
Yeah, except for the fact that they've got exactly 0 championships, you know.
They do.
And I mean,
but they've been in the World Series more recently than a lot of teams.
They've been twice to the World Series, but look, nobody debates how good they are at it. Nobody debates they're really good at it. They're a really good front office. But I don't care. I don't give a damn how good the Rays are or not. I just think that for baseball, for Hayes said it best. Are you going to buy a Glasnow jersey? I mean, what do you get to wear? By the way, do you still wear the jersey when the guy gets traded? What do? I mean, I know like you wear a jersey when a guy retires.
It seems like fans do.
Do they still wear the traded guy's jersey?
As long as it wasn't like a bitter.
As long as he didn't leave.
Well, like, who did I just see? The Red Sox traded to the Yankees. Yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that too. Verdugo.
Yeah, so like when it's your bitter rival,
I
don't think Red Sox fans are going to still be wearing, if they had Verdugo jerseys, I don't think they're going to still be wearing his jersey.
Just when I saw that I've always thought, the Rays were a little bit of their existence has been a clownish franchise because the bad stadium and nobody goes to the games and people in Tampa don't pay attention. But you can't not respect the way they do it. They play the right way. They get the right guys. They develop the right guys. They win a bunch of games. Even this year, they were good. The Rangers just were a buzzsaw. Everybody that ran into the Rangers this year got good. That wasn't a Rays thing. That was whoever was going to run into the Rangers was going to lose, including the Astros. So the Rangers, you just hit the buzzsaw at the wrong time. But that's nothing the Rays did wrong. But now you run off. Golly, I just think that.
But wouldn't you bet, if you had to bet your own money, the Rays will make the postseason next year, even without a Rosarina and Glasnow?
Here's what I would bet. I probably the larger point where you're going with that, I would bet they'll continue to be a winning franchise. They'll continue to be very good at it, whether they have those guys or not.
Right.
No, they've proven that.
I mean, they have Randy Land in the Trop. There's an entire section called Randy Land that you can't get tickets to for the fans that do go. They want to sit in Randy Land. And they might trade him.
I almost can, in a weird sort of way, kind of accept the Blake Snell because he's a jerk. No, I mean, he's a really good left-handed pitcher, but he wasn't, from what you read, he was a punk. He wasn't very good in the clubhouse. He wasn't good with fans. And so I'm not saying trade, but I mean, he was Jalen. He was their Jalen, so I can kind of, you hate to see Jalen Ramsey leave because he's such a good player, but there's part of you that didn't mind seeing him leave for this. Blake Snell was their Jalen Ramsey. But Glasnow and Rosarina, by all accounts, are wonderful fan people, right? People love those guys. I know Glasnow was in Pittsburgh, and people loved him. The light never went on for him, and then we traded away the whole team. I'm glad Clemente went there, so we'd have traded him. But the story bothered me, so I thought I'd bring it up. We'll take a break. We've got 1 hour to go on the program. This is 1010XL on 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
See the world through the eyes of a linebacker.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tom McManus joins Jaguars Today every Friday morning.
Period.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
The shoulder is one of the body's largest joints, prone to a variety of injuries and conditions that cause pain. Dr. George Bari here, and at Bari Orthopedics, we know an active lifestyle can lead to serious joint pain. We can help with an accurate diagnosis and treatment for a full spectrum of shoulder injuries. from arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, or rotator cuff and labral tearing, Bari Orthopedics can help. If you or a loved one suffers from shoulder pain, don't hesitate to call or log on to bariorthopedics.com.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Is your vehicle in need of some TLC? Bring it to the experts at Tire Outlet. With over 40 years of experience in 15 locations across Florida, Tire Outlet is the brand you can trust. Our certified technicians do the job right to get you in and out in no time flat. Hurry in for great deals on tires and automotive service. We offer free tire rotations, free brake inspections, rebate offers on brand name tires, and a legendary price match guarantee on every set of brand new tires. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
W's and L's are what it's all about in football season, and you know you want to be a winner. Well, don't forget about calling Florida Home AC at 777-4300 before all your friends come over and that AC or heating unit conks out. You'll have that L on your forehead, and that sticks. Make sure your AC can handle the heat and invite the gang over for a win. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, with prompt and quick service to make sure you stay cool in the heat and warm in the winter.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
Where on your body is the weenus? The answer next.
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The weenus is your elbow skin and can be pinched as hard as you want, and it will never cause pain.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality product. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Florida Gators lost a significant part of their defense today to the transfer portal. Junior edge defender Princely Uman Mielen announced he will return for his senior season but will do it elsewhere in college football. Uman Mielen started all 12 games for the Gators on defense this season, leading the team with a career-high 7 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss, and 17 quarterback hurries. He also tied his career high with 39 tackles. According to Pro Football Focus, Uman Mielen is the highest-graded Gator defensive player that played more than 10 snaps this season. It's 60 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Here, that means it's time for more football. Football at 5.
5 o'clock somewhere.
On the Frangie Show.
Everybody get up.
1 hour to go in the program. We're live at Island Wing Company here on the south side. Man, we love coming to Island Wing. Twice a month here at Island Wing, south side, twice a month at that great Bartram location. Before long, there's going to be a Beach Boulevard location, too, and we're certainly excited about that. Speaking of Beach Boulevard, on Friday, we'll be at the Beach and Hodges location of the Ale House, the Miller's Ale House there. It'll be the toy drive brought to you by the Hastings Injury Law Firm. We're collecting toys for kids that will all go to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. They do a terrific job. They let us be part of it. I'm honored to be part of it. It's one of the most fun things we do, and that is this Friday. So come on by and say hello. We'd love to see you if you get a chance to stop by and say hello while we do the show on Friday. We're certainly looking forward to doing the show and having you come by and be part of it. So that'll be a fun time. So we hope you will do it. I want to reset our college point from earlier in the show about the portal. But before we do, can you spend maybe the next 2 hours, if you would, reading the injury report because it's somewhat significant? I mean,
Jaguars,
it's 2 pages, isn't it? Read it out if you would.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
For sure.
Yeah, seriously. All right. So when it comes to players who did not practice today, there are 5. That would be cornerback Trey Herndon in the concussion protocol. Also, Christian Kirk, we know with the core muscle injury, also known as the groin. Trevor Lawrence, ankle injury, Walker Little, hamstring, and Brenton Strange, foot injury. They did not practice today. Then you have several players that were limited, like I just mentioned. Quarterback C.J. Beathard with a shoulder injury. He did tell reporters in the locker room postgame that he was fine. Cornerback Tyson Campbell now has a quad injury that he suffered in the game Monday night, so we'll be watching that. Safety Andre Sisco has a shoulder injury. He did return to the game, so that was at least good news. Running back Travis Etienne continues to deal with the ribs injury. Defensive lineman Foley Fatakasi has a heel injury. Running back Dearness Johnson, this one is a little bit of news to me, has a knee injury. And then wide receiver Zay Jones has a knee injury. He's been dealing with that for quite some time. That one does not surprise me. But to me, that's the first time I've seen that Dearness Johnson is dealing with an injury at all.
And that's a lot of guys now. I mean, that, and look, we talk about Trevor because that's the most important one, obviously. And then we talk about Christian Kirk because that's the next most important one. And Christian's down for a while. Doug made that clear. Doug said yesterday it looks like it's going to be surgery. My guess is the surgery will probably happen this week, and that he'll be out for, if not the entire regular season, certainly close to it would be my guess. Losing Trey Herndon hurt. Trey Herndon has been a really good nickelback this year, a guy that everyone thought he was just filling a spot that he wasn't really good, and he's been good this year. He has been very good. He's been a great blitzer. He's been great in run support coming up from that nickel spot. And he's been a good coverage guy. They could play man with him now, which they're not sure they could have done in the past. So he's been good. So not having Trey Herndon, that affected the game the other day. When you're playing a team that's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, you need all 3 guys. Not having him hurt the other day, I thought.
The communication, I thought, was a disaster Monday night, and I think Herndon going out on the second defensive snap aided in that. I think it threw Devin Lloyd and out of some of his comfort zone and the secondary as well. In general, I think Aluakon had to sort of overcompensate because of the fact that he kind of looked around and saw some guys weren't as locked in as maybe they normally are. And it just, I think it absolutely had a tremendous negative effect. I think that matchup also accentuated, to your point, not having him, because Cincinnati, the problems they give you at receiver when they're fully healthy.
Right.
I hope they have Herndon Sunday. If they don't have him Sunday, I don't think it's as big of a problem as it was against Cincinnati. But, yeah, he's a very underrated player. Again, we talk about guys that get everything out of what God gave them, and Trey Herndon is that. I mean, and then some. No one thought he was going to last in the league. It'd be a cup of coffee, and he'd be out the door. And he's really turned into a steady veteran player that can handle the mental challenge of playing the nickel and the physical challenge of playing the nickel.
And, Lauren, you said Dearness Johnson, the running back, popped up on the injury report with a knee. Who knows how serious. But you're right. I didn't see that one coming either. And remember now, Travis Etienne is playing with the rib injury.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem like he has quite the burst to me. I don't know if it's just they're not doing a very good job of run blocking, which I don't think they are. But he doesn't seem the same. Dearness Johnson now has got a knee a little bit. Tank Bigsby's healthy, but he's a rookie. You would think in a rainy game, in a cold weather game, in a game where there's probably a pretty good chance, you don't know for sure, that you're playing your backup quarterback. Oh, boy, you need healthy running back. That injury report all of a sudden is rearing its head, isn't it?
It is, and my concern, as I'm sure most people's, is Tank Bigsby has had a couple different issues this season with fumbling the football, and so not having necessarily the best hands. You put someone like that in a high-pressure, intense situation with the backup quarterback potentially, but also with that weather, that is, I think, a big concern. So, yeah, I think you need Etienne and you need Johnson to be able to win this game.
Yeah, it's a back to your point, Hayes, the matchup concerns you on many fronts. Well, the injury front doesn't help any, does it?
No, it really doesn't. And not having Christian Kirk is going to really sting. And that's one that we do know is we very likely probably won't see him play another snap this season, which is really unfortunate. Because I just think he is so reliable. And he's a playmaker, too. He's not perfect. He's had some drops.
He's a pretty damn good player, though. Pretty damn good player,
to me, he is always going to give you a B+.
Yeah.
And occasionally he'll give you an A+.
Mm-hmm.
But a bad day for Christian Kirk is like a B-. And those are rare. You're almost always going to get a B+ or higher. And it's just, I think that is really going to affect them. And we know they're not going to have Christian Kirk. Walker Little being banged up. We talked about it when Cam Robinson got hurt. How does this affect him? Well, it really doesn't affect them as long as they don't have another injury. Well, now they do. And, going on the road, I think it's going to be a really tough day for the Jaguars offense. I mean, Doug Peterson, Press Taylor, they are going to have their hands full trying to figure out against this Jim Schwartz defense that is number one in the league in total yards allowed, that's number one in third down. They are going to have their hands full to manufacture 17 points in this game in drives that have to go 50, 60 yards. I mean, maybe the defense chips in a touchdown. Maybe the special teams does something, blocks a kick, something. But if the offense has to drive the field, I don't think you can expect more than 17.
I would assume if Walker Little can't play, that Blake Hance is the left tackle, right? Would you assume that?
I would assume, and I would assume Myles Garrett is giggling at that.
Yeah,
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, and he played all right actually when he went into the game the other day. I would assume Blake. I think Blake Hance is a decent player, but you don't want him to be the guy blocking Myles Garrett. But yeah, I would think if we were starting a season, and that's what you were working with, Anton Harrison would be your left tackle, and Blake Hance would be your right tackle. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Anton Harrison is your left tackle sooner than later. I really wouldn't. But
then where does Walker Little go?
I wouldn't, and I don't know this. I'm guessing, but it would not surprise me if they flopped him.
Okay.
Let's assume they don't bring. By the way, Chad Kuhn asked me that today. He said, "Do I think there's a chance that Anton Harrison could be a left tackle?" I do. He's what he played in college, and I think he strikes me as an athletic guy that can one day be your left tackle. Would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all is if they don't bring Cam Robinson back after this year, if Anton Harrison's their left tackle next year and Walker was their right tackle. Would not surprise me if they flop him. But we'll see. But for the here and now, Blake Hance is your left tackle. I don't think you're going to move the rookie now. He's a rookie.
I think Doug eliminated that today. He
Did
was
he?
asked,
Yeah,
I think, where he said we're too far.
Yeah.
We're too deep into it to
and
start doing that.
And I wouldn't either. I mean, Anton, he's a rookie. He's a rookie who's become a damn good right tackle. You don't move him now. I don't think it's what you do for today. So I think Blake Hanson's your left tackle.
The Browns, for what it's worth, have 16 players on their injury report. 3 of those, though, are not injury-related, just rest for different lingering injuries. So really 13 players, though.
What did they list Amari Cooper as?
They listed him as did not practice with concussion and ribs.
Yeah.
That'd be big.
That would be huge.
They don't because, I mean, again, already down Deshaun Watson, already down Nick Chubb.
Kareem Hunt did not practice today with a groin injury.
And Willis is on IR, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So I will tell you.
He's not on the injury report, so yeah.
The big story there is what do they do at quarterback? Joe Flacco's old, but Joe Flacco still drove some balls last week. They just didn't get him in the end zone. So what they wind up doing is it DTR or is it Joe Flacco? That's, by the way, that's the story in Cleveland. It's still quarterback, and what they wind up doing at quarterback, I think, is the gigantic story. So we'll see. Let's take a break. I do want to get to the portal. A comment I made at the top of the show about what's going on in the portal, what's going on with some local teams. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
There are many ways to experience 1010XL.
The key to this whole thing is their computer.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Get me that computer program. Yes, sir.
At 1010XL.
The deal of the year is here at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now you can save thousands off original MSRP on pre-owned 2023 models, like a Toyota Corolla LE starting at just $18,881. A 2023 Toyota Camry LE or RAV4 LE as low as $23,881. You can even get a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road 4x4 as low as $38,881. Shop arlingtontoyota.com and save thousands today.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline for QC Kinetics. Look, don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Get 2024 off to the right start. Get back to living a normal life again. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They've got great locations, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Give them a call at 274-5522. That's a 904 area code, 904-274-5522. Look, QC Kinetics, it's a free consultation. What do you have to lose? No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics can do these things through regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. Go see them. Ponte Vedra, Mandarin, 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst in St. Augustine at 940-9740.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
E.T. here for Brackish Vodka. This Jacksonville-produced and distilled gluten-free corn-based vodka is the smoothest vodka you'll ever have. And because it's mineral salt filtered after being distilled 5 times, you get the smoothest vodka on the market. And it's made right here in Jacksonville. Brackish Vodka won the silver medal at the Spirits competition this year. But you need to try Brackish Vodka to believe it yourself. The smoothest vodka you'll ever have. Drink like a local. Drink Brackish Vodka. Come on, somebody.
Any action? Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
That's a big redfish, guys.
With Captain Kevin Faber.
Oh, my gosh.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today.
Baloo for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
1, 2. It's an AC Designs Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by AC Designs, voted best AC and heating company in Jacksonville.
We appreciate our friends from AC Design, the best in the business. Call AC Design for all your heating and cooling needs today. Frangie, Carlyon, Brooks, RJ Saunders with you. I made this comment at the top of the program. Guys are going to leave to go to the portal. Portal is usually players who aren't playing or players that are young and made the wrong choice. Didn't fit when they got there. They knew it. It's time to go to the next thing. The last thing you want ever is veteran starters leaving. When your veteran starters start leaving, you're either a mid-level program or a program where the coach is about to get fired. I thought Princely Umanmielen leaving, clearly, if not Florida's best defensive player, probably with Shamar James out their best defensive player. Would you agree with that?
Without a doubt.
Probably their best defensive player. So you got your best defensive player not play. Your best defensive guy is gone with time. I thought he was coming out and going to go in the draft. He said, I'm going to stay in college football, but I'm going to go somewhere else, essentially. That is a really bad sign, and it's on the heels of guys like Tarkin and Josh Braun and Ethan White and Donovan McMillan and Tyron Hopper and Antoine Powell-Ryland leaving last year. And in past years, Will Norman's going, who I think is significant because I think he could have been something special. Chris McClellan, who I think would have been a starting tackle for them next year. Caleb Douglas is a guy that he's young. boy, Hayes, I think that is a real concern when you start losing veteran good players. If you lose young guys, that's one thing. They just never fit. And if they're, and again, I'm rooting for Billy Napier to make it. I'm not convinced he won't be good. I think he's going to have a good recruiting year. I think he returns a really good quarterback. I think they've got a chance next year. They have some tough games, but most of them are at home, which matters. But he has not done a good job of retention with the Dan Mullen guys. That, by far, has been his biggest weak area in his 2 years.
Well, and there weren't that many good ones to start with. So it wasn't like you inherited a full cupboard of talent. It was bereft. And what was there, you've allowed, or
they've left.
Allowed it, or they've gone. And so, yeah, he's in a predicament. And it's a really difficult one because the only hope Florida had was to retain the few good players that they had on a 5-7 team. Well, I didn't think Princely was returning to Florida. I thought he would go into the draft. But to hear that his plan is to play college football but not play it for Florida tells you he has very little confidence in the direction the program's going in. And he's not going to be the last one. I mean, the Trevor Etienne rumor feels like it's been out there now since 1979. I mean, so
10 and 1 and 79.
Yeah.
I was in the stands drinking too much.
So he's not playing for you next year. And so, I mean, that's two guys. We'll see about, a Shamar James. And, I mean, the problem with college football now, if you're a fan of college football, is unless you're one of the few teams where your team is super elite, you're going to have to worry about this. And Florida's far from super elite. So, really nothing is safe on the roster. Like, there's no, other than Graham Mertz and Cam Jackson, who have announced, I'm returning to Florida. Other than that,
right,
you've got another 25 days to languish in the uncertainty of who is actually going to be on my team next fall.
Yeah, and I said earlier, I think it also sends a message to the other transfer portal players. When a guy like Princely Uman-Mielen decides to leave, he's sending a message to guys that are currently in the transfer portal, and right now there's around 1,500, and like Frank said earlier, there's expected to be around 5,000, that this may not be the place that you want to go. If I'm leaving, why would you want to come here? I had the most sacks on the team, leading sack guy, and I'm leaving. Because I may not think that this is the place for me to play, why would guys in the transfer portal then want to join Florida?
Next year, it'll only be Billy Napier's third year. His third year.
Why does that feel like it's been 5?
Who are the best players on next year's team, Hayes, that he didn't recruit? Who will be the best Dan Mullen recruits? It's only year 3. Who will be the best Dan Mullen recruits on next year's team? Can you think of any?
Big meat?
Yeah, I
honestly,
hey, he's on the list.
Yeah,
Des Watson's on the list
because I think Jason Marshall is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
did he recruited? Did he sign Austin Barber?
I think Mullen did.
He's a red. That's what I'm saying. So Austin Barber.
Yeah.
Des Watson. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at their depth chart. I'm trying to find good players that'll be on the team next year. That he kept from Mullen. And by the way,
Crashaw?
Yeah, who's that?
Punter.
Right. And by the way, listen.
What's the long snapper's name? Rocco.
Yeah.
Rocco Underwood.
Hey! Do not disparage.
I'm not.
To get his
put
respect on his name.
Yeah.
But look, when this first happened, here's how the narrative changed with Napier. Here's how it changed. Originally, we thought it was all because Mullen didn't recruit anybody.
Correct.
But now, is it still that, or did he maybe recruit some more good players than we gave him credit for, and they all left? Again, I'll do it again. Hopper, McMillan, who was Pitt, one of the best safeties in the ACC this year at Pitt. Hopper, McMillan, Tarkin, Braun, Ethan White, Powell Ryland, now Uman-Mielen, Xavier Henderson. They weren't terrible players. I'm not saying they're all great players, but that's an awful lot of good players that he recruited that are now playing somewhere else.
Look, like it or not, you can't scoff at any of those guys when you went 5-7. That doesn't give you any license
I thought
to sit there and say, "Oh, we didn't need him."
I thought today's
news, as you sit at home on December 6th.
Yeah, I thought today's news was bad, really bad news. I thought today's news, of all the ones we've heard, Same thing for FSU. As good as a wonderful season as they had, and sad the way it ended for them, I think Patrick Payton being in the portal is bad news. They did not have a lot of star young players coming back. I'm not saying not any, but they didn't have a lot of stars coming back. And again, I asked you yesterday, not knowing any of that news, with all these guys coming out early, which stars does FSU have coming back? And he was the first guy you mentioned.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the first guy.
I mean, he's a top 10 NFL pick.
He's a good player.
That whenever he goes in the draft, I'm assuming it'll be 25.
Right.
I mean, he's got top 10 pick written all over him. So, I mean, he's going to command a lot of money in NIL. And, you know, again, it's two totally different scenarios, but it does make me want – I think Princely's leaving Florida – because he doesn't like the direction of where the team is going.
Right.
And he's like, why would I put myself through another year of losing 7 games
right.
And having no help around me? Why would I put myself in that situation when I can leave, go play for Alabama or Georgia or Clemson or Ohio State or Texas, wherever it is, and have a chance to win the whole thing and be in an atmosphere of fun and winning and achievement? And with Peyton, I think with Peyton it's concerning not because of the culture. I don't think anybody disputes that Mike Norvell has built something special in terms of the closeness and the harmony that they have. But does he look around and say, well, everyone's leaving, and I don't want to be one of the few guys? I mean, maybe he's looking around and saying, look, our team is really top-heavy, and we don't have a lot of guys that are going to be on my level once this draft class moves on. And so I want to get to a situation where, you know, not only am I going to play like I would here, but I'm going to have better talent around me, and I'm going to be going to a place that has a chance to win the whole thing. Because I think FSU will be good next year. I mean, I think they'll make the 12. But I think it'll be probably between that 8 to 11 seed, you know, which means that I think they'll make the tournament but probably not win the whole thing. I mean, he's going to have every school in America is going to offer Peyton. So, I mean, he's going to have his choice, and I would assume big NIL dollars that come along with it.
Yeah, but I think the difference, Frank, is the two fan bases are going to view these incredibly differently. Uman Mielen, Gators fans are like, are you kidding me? You were one of the very few players that we had that were good that would be coming back, and Billy Napier needs you to come back. Mike Norvell is completely and totally safe. Patrick Payton, the fan base is probably viewing it as, well, you know what? Mike Norvell does really well in the transfer portal. So, yes, we don't want to see Patrick Payton go, but we understand it. But we are confident in our coach filling his position, his role in, and all those other ones that are leaving between recruiting and the transfer portal. People don't have that faith in Billy Napier.
I will say this. I'm looking at the FSU depth chart now. This is the depth chart they released for the Louisville game, right? Boy, the amount of redshirt seniors and redshirt.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, staggering.
Jared Verse, a redshirt junior, he's out. Braden Fisk, redshirt senior, can't come back. Fabian Lovett, redshirt senior, can't come back. Patrick Payton, sophomore, just said he's leaving. Tatum Bethune, redshirt senior. Caleb Deloach, redshirt senior. Jerrion Jones, redshirt senior. Who has that many redshirt senior? Akeem Dent, redshirt senior. Renardo
it's that
Green.
dang COVID year. The gift that just keeps on giving.
They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 8 guys that started on their defense that were fifth-year players. Nobody has that.
No.
And so they're all gone next year. Rodemaker's back. Do Benson and Toafili come back? Because they can. They're redshirt juniors.
I think Benson's going into the draft would be my guess.
Yeah,
that would be my guess.
I don't know about Toafili.
He's pretty high up as far as running backs.
Johnny Wilson just said he's coming out. I got to believe Keon Coleman, who's a true junior. I got to believe he comes out.
He's a first-round pick.
Jaheim Bell is a redshirt junior. He's out, I would think. Kyle Morlack, the other tight end, is a redshirt junior. So they'd be coming back for their 5th year. Their offensive line, redshirt junior, redshirt senior, redshirt junior, redshirt senior. Wow. It is really and Bless Harris, who's a redshirt senior, I thought he was done, but he just went to the portal. So
yeah, apparently like Ricky Pearsall had another year.
Yeah, I didn't know that until he announced.
It's so hard
the
to
COVID
know,
year, to your point.
You know, who actually has eligibility left and who doesn't because of the ridiculous COVID year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, because, I mean, Pearsall's been listed as a redshirt senior
right.
all year long.
Right.
So,
he came to college as one. He was a redshirt senior when he got to Arizona State.
Right. Is that, so, I mean, but he did have to actually declare that he's giving up eligibility to enter the draft, and he should go into the draft. But
poor Mertz.
Yeah, it's just
interesting.
It's what Billy Napier is getting ready to do over the next month is absolutely going to define his tenure.
Yeah, and he's going to have to find, and I'll say it again, he recruited good players last year. So they really do have, Kelby Collins and T.J. Searcy and Cameron James, they're good players.
And I like
Jordan
the
Castell.
safeties.
Yeah, the safeties are good.
Eugene Wilson.
The young receivers are good. He recruited, but you can't win with that.
No.
In the Southeastern Conference, by the way, in the SEC, with an SEC that added Texas and Oklahoma, with an SEC with the schedule next year, that your three of your non-conference games are Miami, UCF, and FSU, you cannot win with young players. You cannot. So he's got to go find a bunch of veteran guys, or he doesn't make it to year 4. I'll say it again. If he gets to year 4, that means he won at least 7 or 8 next year. 6-6, I don't think he gets to year 4.
No.
7-5, he could get there. 8-4, he will get there. He gets to year 4, they're going to be pretty good. I really believe that, assuming Lagway's what you hope he'll be. So we'll see. Let's take a break. Lauren wraps the program with news and notes right after this.
The Frangie Show, live from the Hastings Injury Law Firm Studios on 1010XL. Hit back with Hastings.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL Week 14 begins on Thursday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be hosting the New England Patriots. Pittsburgh at 7-5 will go with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback for the injured Kenny Pickett, who has a high ankle sprain. The Steelers averaging just 16.5 points per game, but they are a 6-point favorite against the Patriots, who come into the contest at 2-10, averaging just over 12 points a contest. Patriots are plus 235 on the money line. The Steelers are minus 290. The over-under in a game featuring two of the lowest scoring teams in the league, 30.5. This update brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010XL.
Having hot water in your home is important for washing dishes, yourself, etc. But if your water isn't consistently nice and hot, it may become more of an issue when your family's over for the holidays.
There's no hot water!
Fix water heater problems with a call to Duck Rooter today. Duck Rooter will come and resolve it so you can enjoy lots of hot water this holiday season. Call 904-862-6769. Visit duckrooter.com.
Frank Frangie here. It's time to give your vehicle the care it deserves. Big Chief Tire is your go-to destination for general maintenance. They keep Jack rolling, and that means ensuring your vehicle is in tip-top shape. From oil changes to brake repairs, their team of experts is dedicated to keeping you safe on the road. Visit the website at BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at any of their 5 Jacksonville locations.
Bob Arablo here, president of Your Jacksonville Icemen. Thanks to the doctors and staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, our team is well taken care of. We're proud to be associated with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is ready to help you too. We'd like to thank the coaches and schools who trust in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Have breakfast with Hall of Famer Tony Baselli. He may even bring his gold jacket.
I got a feeling he's going to be on his best behavior.
Monday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Mr. Rooter Plumbing of Jacksonville. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A.
Salvatore's Pizza coming to Jacksonville. Salvatores.com.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig, what a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
You dream it, we build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Turn your backyard into an outdoor living oasis with CSS. Your number one choice for custom outdoor kitchens, grills, fireplaces, pergolas, and outdoor living. Because
you dream it, we build it. CSS.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I've got an Awaken 180 update that you may not believe. I'm 4 weeks into the Awaken 180 program and down 23 pounds. 23 pounds in 1 month. You might be thinking, well, the holiday season has arrived. Now what? Well, I'm not sweating it because over Thanksgiving week, at a time when most are loosening their belt, I dropped 6 pounds. That's right, 6 pounds. Awaken 180 is just stupid easy. Who knew you could enjoy the holidays and still lose weight while eating and drinking and being merry? That's the beauty of Awaken 180. It seamlessly fits into your life, even during holidays, parties, vacations, you name it. If you're looking for real change, give yourself the gift that lasts a lifetime. You, looking in the mirror, happy, healthy, after dropping the weight, holding you back with the number one solution for weight loss, Awaken 180. Do what I did and call Awaken 180 at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The age of light beer is here. Modelo Oro, treasured for its smooth, elevated taste and crisp, clean finish. 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. It's the gold standard of light beer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
There are 12 names on the Jaguars' Wednesday injury report. 5 did not practice today, including quarterback Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver Christian Kirk, offensive lineman Walker Little, tight end Brenton Strange, and cornerback Trey Herndon. 7 Jaguars players were limited in practice today, including quarterback C.J. Beathard, safety Andre Sisco, running back Travis Etienne Jr., cornerback Tyson Campbell, defensive lineman Foley Fatukasi, running back Dearness Johnson, and wide receiver Zay Jones. Those are the 12 names on today's Jaguars injury report. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
What's going on in the world? It's time for Frangie Show news and notes. Here's Lauren Brooks.
All right, gentlemen. I need to know, on Sunday, were y'all watching the 49ers-Eagles game?
Parts of it.
Did you see the incident with the security guard?
Dom?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not messing with Dom.
So ever since that incident, now the NFL has had to issue this statement. Please ensure that all members of your game day staff understand that their role does not extend to being involved with game day altercations and that they must refrain from such involvement. Did you think it was Dom's fault while watching?
I was kind of half watching.
Okay.
So I you know what I mean? I wasn't watching as closely as I should have. I just know I don't want any part of Dom. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm on Team Dom here as well.
You are?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he was right. It happened right in front of him.
I wasn't watching.
I don't think he
closely enough.
sought it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it kind of happened right in front of him, and maybe he took one step more than he should have.
I think he might have said something because why else would Dre Greenlaw put his hand near him?
Well, I mean, you're allowed to talk. I mean, so
maybe not if you're just head of security.
Yeah.
I ain't messing with Dom. I'm standing
I'm
my ground.
apparently I'm on Team Dre.
Yeah. Well, I'm not messing with Greenlaw either, but I'm not messing with Dom. I'm standing my ground on this one.
All right, as far as the Pro Bowl votes are concerned, they haven't started voting yet, but there are players that are in consideration for that, and here they are in their numbers in the AFC as far as the Jaguars are concerned. Linebacker Foye Oluokun is number 3.
Okay.
Brandon McManus, the kicker, is number 5. Safety Andre Sisco is number 3. Outside linebacker Josh Allen is number 2. Punter Logan Cook, number 5. Running back Travis Etienne, number 2. And tight end Evan Ingram, number 3 in the AFC.
Yeah, I would think everybody you mentioned,
that's pretty good.
I would have guessed would get Pro Bowl votes, and I even put Darius Williams on my list because he had the 3 interceptions early in the year. But I would guess everybody. I'm not surprised anybody you mentioned would get Pro Bowl votes. Are you?
No. I think it's very a very comprehensive and thorough list, and I'm glad to see those low numbers. That's what you want to see.
Well, maybe the voting actually has started. Yeah, so you can go online, go to probowl.com/vote, and you can vote for your Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, we made that point a long time. The Jags have a lot of players who should get Pro Bowl consideration. I'm not saying they all will or should make the game, but they have a number of players who deserve Pro Bowl consideration.
We didn't talk about this as far as since I've been here this week. The Texans lost wide receiver Tank Dell in the win over the Broncos. How much he has a season-ending ankle/fibula injury? How much does that affect the Texans?
Greatly. He's a big part of their offense. He's a little guy, but man, he is lightning quick. I think he's faster than Nico. I think he's their fastest receiver. Lightning quick, change of direction guy, and you could see a chemistry developing between C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell. So I think not having him is a gigantic loss for the Texans.
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's on par with the Jaguars losing Christian Kirk.
I do too.
I think even though he's a rookie, I think Tank Dell has established himself on that level. So massive loss for Houston.
Really, I agree. Quarterback carousel, the Vikings are sticking with Josh Dobbs. It looks like he'll be able to throw to Justin Jefferson, and the Jets are going with Zach Wilson. The saga with the Jets and Zach Wilson has been fun to watch. Not fun, I shouldn't say that, but interesting to watch from afar as far as he doesn't even want to be on the team. No, he's the starting quarterback.
The big disconnect with him, the enigmatic part of him is he's really talented. He's got a rifle arm. He's got a lightning quick release. He's athletic as heck, but he's not a very good quarterback. You know, he's one of those guys that the skill set is. I mean, he's got one of the better arms in the league. He's super athletic. He can make the no-look passes, but the light it just because he's still young, but it just never really happened for him.
Well, and he's never had any sort of confidence. And I don't know that can be rebuilt at this point. I really don't think it can be rebuilt with the Jets. You know, does he at his next stop, is he able to harness something and maybe have some good fortune that allows him to get another chance to show he can play? I don't know. We'll see. But, I mean, he just looks like sometimes athletes just lose their confidence, and whatever confidence he took into the NFL, I think is long gone.
Matt Hayes wrote this on Saturday Down South today. Don't even hesitate, Jaden Daniels. Become the first Heisman winner to opt out of a bowl game and protect your financial future. That's, of course, assuming Jaden Daniels wins the Heisman, but moreover, should he sit out the bowl game?
I hate it when guys do. It's always bugged me, but I can't argue the rationality of it. I mean, listen, you're protecting millions and millions and millions of dollars that can set you for life, set up your family for life. How can you ever consider that irresponsible when you understand the significance of it? I hate it, but Yeah, I couldn't fault him.
Yeah, I think at this stage, when you're talking about particularly a player like Jaden Daniels, who I think has a chance to really rise, I don't know why you would put yourself in that situation to play and risk the injury, particularly how he plays. There's plenty of film on Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
He has started a ton of games in college, so I don't think he needs one more film in a bowl game to sway anybody. And so, no, I don't blame him. I would start getting ready for the draft process is tedious. I mean, there's a lot of things you've got to do. So to give yourself an extra couple of weeks just to rest and not have to worry about football before you start having to get into combine prep and interview prep and pro day prep and everything that comes with it, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet for sure. All right, last night in men's basketball, Florida had a very slow start, Frank, including 9 turnovers in the first half against Merrimack. At one point, it was down by 10. But Walter Clayton had 21 of his 26 points in the second half. Florida had a 20-0 run in the second half, and now Florida plays host to Richmond Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of him. Handlocked, and I do appreciate he played 2 plays or 2 minutes, so he's still hurt. Trevor Lawrence is about to come back from always having his leg twisted off. Maybe Micah can play against Richmond. I'm kidding. I don't know, but I don't know what to make of them. I think Clayton's their best player. Kugel maybe the most NBA talented player because of his size and athleticism. I think Clayton's got to get more shots up. He seems to pass up shots. The great shooters usually can't wait to let one fly. You know that? Will Richards can't wait to let him fly, and he's not as good a shooter.
At one point, he was 1 of 9, I think, last night.
He's just okay, though. He is not a great athlete. He's just okay. Clayton, I think, is their best player. Pullen isn't a scorer, but needs to be on the court a lot. The young big guys play hard. I don't know what to make of them. In a brutally hard SEC, you got to. I mean, they were 10-8 in the league last year and didn't get in. So I was more encouraged probably 3 games ago than I think I am now. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've dipped from what they showed early on in beating Pitt, but I think they're going to be fine. I mean, I think that the biggest thing is health. I mean, Pullen is injured, and so
right.
he played, but is battling, I believe, a shoulder. I mean, the log is a force in the paint when he's out there. So I do think he'll make a difference.
And he's a guy they need. He's the legitimate.
Because their defense is really bad without him. I mean, he doesn't have to score much. I mean, anything he gives you offensively is bonus points.
Yeah.
But the 3 blocks that he's going to get and the 11 rebounds.
And the altered shots.
Exactly. Like, that's where
I agree.
They're really missing that.
He's a legit rim protector. Both Houck and Condon are good 6'10", 6'11" freshmen. But they're not going to block the shots, that guy. He's 7'1" and long wingspan. He's going to block a lot of shots.
All right, time now for today's takeaways.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
My takeaway is Trevor Lawrence. I thought he looked good at his press conference. Great to see him not wearing a boot, moving around. And my confidence that he's going to be active on Sunday has certainly gone up. I put it at like 20% this morning that he'd be able to play. Now I think I'd put it at 45%. I still don't think he's going to play, but I'm much more encouraged that he might after seeing him talk about the injury today.
Yeah, and I'll go with college football. We talked about it several times today. Princely Umanmielen in the transfer portal for Florida. That's a dagger. He led the team in sacks, and he was a leader on the defensive side of the ball. And the fact that he's leaving is not a good sign, it seems, for the program and the culture that Billy Napier has created. We shall see what he does in the transfer portal moving forward, and really how many more players enter the transfer portal from Florida will also be something to watch. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping 1010XL rolling with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Rick Ballou joins us on the program. Rick, we have been lamenting because we're all Florida people. Princely Umanmielen coming out. Patrick Payton yesterday was really surprising to me, possibly FSU's best returning player. Were you shocked by that like I kind of was?
Yeah, I was, even though we flirted with it a year ago. Him and Joshua Farmer did, and they both wanted more cash. And my understanding, and I said it last night on the show, that I think it's a fluid scenario. I think he wants to get paid. He wants to get paid a lot of money. My guess is there's other schools that have made that known to him that he can make a lot of money. So I don't think Florida State is out of the running here for Patrick Payton. I don't think so.
I guess.
And you know,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I don't follow him on Twitter, but I had quite a few people reach me today and say he actually deleted that tweet from yesterday. So
Right.
I don't know what that means.
But I hear you. I was just surprised by it because he's a really good player.
Oh, you can't afford to lose him. I mean, they're going to lose a lot of players to the NFL and others to transfers. But, you know, if you were to put a roster by pay, I think he'd be number one on that roster.
Yeah, I agree with you. Rick, Trevor Lawrence looked like he I don't know if he's playing again or not on Sunday, but he sure – it sure could have been a lot worse, couldn't it, watching him talk today?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. I just can't think of how many folks went to bed on, Monday night thinking, oh, my God, this is it. It's over. You know, he's out for the year. And then all of a sudden, we hear of the MRI. And then today, 48 hours later, not even 48 hours later, much better. Yeah, whether or not he goes this weekend or goes next weekend, I think is almost irrelevant at this point. Just the fact that he is going to definitely be back. This is such a great, this is such a great day for Jaguar fans, knowing that you're going to get him back at some point.
What else coming up tonight, Rick?
All right, this is my first opportunity to talk about the college football playoff. Obviously, Monday night we had the game, and then last night was 100% Jaguars' reaction after their loss and all the injuries. So everything that I feel about the college football playoff, I've been sitting on it since 12:20 on Sunday. That is coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Whatever you were planning to do, change it and turn on 1010XL. I'll be listening, Rick. Thanks, buddy. We
Should be a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, Rick Ballou. You don't think that'll be good, will you?
Yeah, that's
whatever you were planning to do. If you had concert tickets, sell them.
Right.
Okay, because Ballou's about to go off. It's going to be good stuff. Rick Ballou comes up right now. We're out of here. For Hayes, Lauren, and RJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.